rather just pay Delete Me like $6 a month to do it for you. So if you're like me and you want to give Delete Me a try, I'm going to link in a discount code down below. Let's get back to the video. Alright, October 9, 1895, Eugene Bullard is born in Columbus, Georgia. He is the youngest of 7 siblings to William and Josephine Bullard. And as I'm sure you can imagine, growing up as a black child in the late 1800s, early 1900s in Georgia, aka the South, he experienced racism quite a bit at a very young age. His first exposure to this, if he remembers, was when he was about 5 or 6 years old. He noticed that all of the other white kids that were his friends started to treat him differently as their parents did. And to make everything 10 times worse, at the age of 5 or 6, not only does he have to come to grips with the fact that he's losing a bunch of his friends, and that he's going to be treated differently in a negative way for the rest of his life for something that's totally outside of his control. But around this same time, his mother also passes away at the age of 37. And these two horrific circumstances come together in his mind. So not only is it every time he experiences racism, he has to deal with just the racism itself, but he's also constantly reminded of the fact, oh, by the way, your mom died when you were a small child. And the way this manifests to young Eugene is he basically just wants to run away. He wants to get away from racism because A, that would be awesome, and B, it's going to allow him to not have to constantly be reminded of the fact that his mother died. And where he wants to run away to is this place that his grandfather and his dad always told him about, where people were racist, a place across the ocean called France. Unfortunately, at this point in time, he's like 6 or 7 years old, and running away across the ocean is an impossible task for him, so he's just going to have to stay put and deal with it for now. And this all comes to a head about a year later when he's 8 years old. His dad gets into an altercation at work. Now, William Bullard, his dad, is a single father himself with 7 children. He is working his ass off, doing absolutely everything he can in life. And the best job he's able to get at the time is working as a longshoreman, unloading cargo ships all day long. Now, he was a big guy to begin with. He's 6'3", but after unloading cargo ships for years on end, he is like 250 pounds of pure muscle on top of it. Because of this, he gets the nickname Big Ox. Now, despite the fact that he is a physically intimidating person, he still gets fucked with a lot of work, quite honestly, because they know that he's a black guy, this is the South, he's not going to do shit because he's got 7 kids at home that are going to starve to death if he's not able to take care of them. So they just talk shit to his face and they treat him poor. And Big Ox just puts up with it because it's literally all he can do if he wants to take care of his family. This goes on for months and months, and there's this one dude at work in particular that's always Billy Stevens. And Big Ox just ignores it. Billy Stevens talks shit, Big Ox just turns his back and walks away. And one day, Big Ox does just that. He turns his back and goes to walk away. Billy Stevens grabs a heat bale in the pocket and smacks him in the side of the head with it, splitting open all the skin on his skull, and Big Ox is now bleeding everywhere. He turns around, grabs him by the neck, lifts him over his head, and throws this man off the dock into a cargo ship with a massive thud at the bottom, presumably killing him. Big Ox immediately runs to the office of his boss, Mr. Bradley, who actually likes Big Ox and treats him with dignity and respect, explains what happened. Mr. Bradley tells him, go home, lay low, I'm going to take care of that. Now, Stevens didn't die. Bradley drags him in his office and tells him, hey, you're not going to tell anybody about this, or you're never going to work at this town again. You deserve that. Shut the fuck up. Fortunately, a bunch of other racist white guys that were working at the dock saw a black man and attacked a white man. And that night, they go out to the bar, they start drinking, and they come to the conclusion that they should go to the front. So that night, while Big Ox is at home with his 7 kids, 2 cars pull up in the driveway, at which point, Big Ox tells his 7 kids, go hide under the bed and in the closet. He grabs a double-barrel shotgun, turns off all the lights, points it at the door as a bunch of men are banging and screaming at the door and windows. And he's just sitting there waiting in case they break that door down. He's going to have to fight whoever comes through to save his kids. Literally one of the scariest situations a dad can be put in. While that's going on, 8-year-old Eugene Bullard is hiding underneath the bed, horrified because now he's already lost his mom. He thinks he's going to lose his dad, and he doesn't know what's going to happen to him when that happens. Luckily, all of the men banging on the door come to the conclusion that nobody's home, and they end up leaving. However, this is the breaking point for Eugene. At this point, at 8 years old, he decides, I'm running away from home. So that's what he does. He runs away. But Big Ox tracks him down and drags him back home. So he runs away again. Big Ox tracks him down again and brings him back home. This goes on as an 8-year-old, a 9-year-old, a 10-year-old, an 11-year-old. He's constantly running away from home, and Big Ox is constantly tracking him down and dragging him back home. But then, as a 12-year-old, he saves up his money, he gets $1.50 to buy a train ticket, runs away from home, hops on a train to Atlanta, and once he hits a big city, Big Ox isn't able to track him down.
Our firm is located in the Larkin Building. Larkin district. We have actually been in the Larkin building for
not really having a plan on what to do if he ever made it this far. He doesn't know what to do next, so he's just looking for food and shelter and anybody that can point him in the general direction of the ocean and kind of give him a public crossing. And what happens is he runs into a group of gypsies known as the Stanley tribe from Britain. They end up telling him, hey, we're not from France, we're from Britain, but Britain's a lot like France. There's not as much racism as there is here in South America. You can hang out with us. We're going to be going back to Great Britain at some point, and we'll take you with us if you want to stay and hang out. So that's what he does. He lives with them for 6 months to a year, and what they were doing in America is they were taking care of horses and doing horse racing. So he learned everything about horses and ends up becoming a professional horse jockey himself. As I'm sure you can imagine, being a black jockey in the South, racism absolutely comes up and is definitely an issue for young Eugene Bullard. At which point he finally, looks at the Stanley tribe and is like, hey, are we going back to Great Britain or not? I'm sick of all racism. And they're like, no, we're not going back for a while. So he's like, cool, I'm going to part ways. I'm going to figure out a way across that ocean right now. So he separates from the Stanley tribe, ends up working his way up the coast, he heads to Virginia. So he's like 14 years old, ends up making it to this port in Virginia, and then he's just like kind of wandering around like, what the fuck do I do now? Do I go up and just ask somebody if I can hitch a ride across the ocean? Like, what's my plan here? And then somebody just starts yelling at him, like, hey, what are you doing? Pick up those boxes, help me load this ship, come over here. And then he's like, cool, so he does it, and he just starts working. That's the story of how he got a job as a longshoreman, and he does that for months. But then eventually he's like, you know what, I'm just going to stow away on a ship. So he goes, hops on a cargo ship, no idea where that ship is going. The ship leaves port, and then like a day and a half later, it pulls into another port. He's like, I don't think the ocean's that small. So they port again, and he asks somebody on the dock, like, hey, where are we? He's like, you're in Virginia. Shit. So he gets off the ship, goes around the port, finds the biggest ship in the port, thinking like, oh, if it's a big ship, it's probably going all the way across the ocean, right? So he's away on that ship. Like a day into this trip, he gets caught being stowaway, at which point all these German sailors, some of them speak English, some of them don't. The ones that are speaking English are like, hey, we recognize you from the dock, you were the kid that's loading up the ships. I mean, we can throw you out the brig, we can keep you as a prisoner, and drop you off at the first port we hit. We have to drop you off at the first port regardless, so you're a stowaway. But if you'd rather, you can just like work for us and we'll pay you, and then we'll drop you off when we get there. And he's like, cool, sounds great. Works his ass off. Everybody on the crew ends up loving him, and because they're all German, Eugene actually ends up learning how to speak German. So he works for the entire voyage. They end up in Scotland. They end up paying him $25 in earned wages. They give him clothes, lunch supplies, everything they can because they do like him. And he ends up just walking off the dock in Scotland with basically nothing to make a new life for himself. Now, Scotland at this point in time definitely different from South America. Most of the people there not really racist at all. However, they also never really seen a black person, so everybody just calls him Jack Johnson, who was a world heavyweight champion at the time. He's a black man, probably the most famous black man in the world at this point, and everybody just associates him with Jack Johnson.
This is black, though, right? Okay.
No, I don't think so.
Not really knowing what to do. He ends up being a street performer for a little while. Then he goes back to being a longshoreman full-time, earning a decent wage. And you gotta remember, he's like 15, 16 at this point. He's finally going through puberty. And he's being a longshoreman unloading cargo ships all day long. So he just gets absolutely jacked, just like his dad. So he's working Monday through Friday on the docks, and then on the weekends he's being a street performer. And then one day he sees this one performance where there's like, a big bucket of water, and you're sitting on the thing. Somebody throws a ball, hits a target, and dumps the person in the water. And he's like, oh, I'm going to try that as like the black guy who's never seen. Like, that'll make it fun. So he gets a dunk tank set up, calls the thing, dunk the darkie, and the entire time he's sitting on like, the plank, or whatever it is that he's sitting on that's going to drop out when the target gets hit, he's just talking shit to everybody walking by. So he starts making a ton of money. I mean, all the street performances that he did well because he was the only black guy around, and that was a spectacle in and of itself. But now that he's sitting there talking shit to people, the first time these people have ever seen a black man, he's talking smack to their face, and they can pay $1 and then dunk him in the water, like, he makes a ton of money. And then he ends up turning it into like this Tootsie Pop type situation, like how many licks does it take? He's like, oh, I've been dunked 9 times tonight, you better try for the 10th, and maybe that'll be the one that's enough to wash the black off me, and then I'll look like the rest of you motherfuckers. This thing ends up making him so much money that just working Saturday night, he makes more money than his entire salary as a full-time longshoreman. So now, he's like, fuck it, I'm just gonna do this Friday, Saturday night, I'll make more money, and then I have the entire week free to go do something else. So now that he's got this full-time he's like, okay, what do I want to do now? And he just thinks to himself, like, I mean, everybody already calls me Jack Johnson, so if I'm a boxer, I bet I do doing pretty well as a boxer and making money only doing that if I tried that as well. So he tracks down this boxing gym, goes inside. The boxing trainer has like zero interest in training. But Eugene, being Eugene, isn't going to take no for an answer. So, despite the fact that the boxing coach isn't going to train him, he's like, I'm just going to hang around the gym and I'm going to work here for free. And that's what he does. And he works there for free for months, just doing everything that needs to be done without getting paid. So, and eventually, the boxing coach is like, fuck you, fine. Okay, man. Put some gloves on, come over here, and he starts training Eugene to box. So that's what he does. He's training full time to be a boxer Monday through Friday, and then on the weekends he's making all this money doing the double kick thing. And after about 6 months, he ends up taking his first pro fight at 16 years old. During that fight, he's so fast and borderline untouchable, he ends up earning his first nickname, Sparrow. He crushes it, does great. Now he's making money as a professional boxer. Early on in his career, one of the first cards that he ends up fighting on is being headlined by another black American boxer known as the Dixie Kid. His real name is Aaron Lister. He is the world welterweight champion. At this point in time, he is currently living in France after leaving America for the exact same reason that Eugene Bullard did, to get away from racism and segregation. So Aaron Lister, presumably seeing a lot of himself inside the young Eugene, goes up to him after his fight and is like, hey, you should come back to Paris and train like you. To which Eugene is like, absolutely, Paris, France has been the goal my entire life since I was 8 years old. Let's go. And Eugene Bullard is now moving to France. So he gets to France, he learns French, and it's absolutely everything he ever wanted. He's a professional boxer, he's traveling all over Europe. He also picks up being a jazz musician and street performer. He's living his dream. He's getting to travel around, do what he wanted, and people don't treat him different because he's black. He actually ends up training with a bunch of other famous black boxers that are living in France for the exact same reason, including Jack Johnson, the world heavyweight champion.
5 words you pronounce wrong 2 years before your brain starts shutting down. Dementia is now known as type 3 diabetes, according to the Mayo Clinic, where doctors have made a shocking discovery that changes.
Unfortunately, like all dreams, you have to wake up eventually. Eugene's wake-up call would come in August of 1914 when the Germans would invade France. At this point in time, Eugene is 18 years old, and he absolutely wants to go fight for this new adopted home. So he goes to the military recruiting office, shows up, and they're like, "Cool, where's your paperwork?" And he's like, I literally have nothing. I left home when I was 12 years old in Georgia with nothing but $1.50 in my pocket. I don't have anything. So they basically kick him out and tell him that he can't join. So he starts asking around how he's going to be able to join and help fight and defend France. And he ends up finding out about the French Foreign Legion. If you don't know, the French Foreign Legion is pretty much exactly what it sounds like. It is foreigners that fight on behalf of France. Now, all the people that do it have a different reason for doing it. Some of them believe in what France is fighting for and they want to join that fight. Some of them are idealists. Some of them are just looking to get a new start and they go and be serving the French Foreign Legion for a couple of years, become a French citizen, and then dump and wind up. So Eugene goes and he talks to the French Foreign Legion. Unfortunately, he's not going to be allowed to sign up for a couple of months until he turns 19 years old, which is exactly what he does on October 19th. He goes and on his 19th birthday, signs up for the French Foreign Legion, and goes straight into training. Now, the French Foreign Legion is pretty well known and very prestigious, and their training process and their qualification process is known to be extremely tough, and a lot of people don't make it through to become missionaries. But at the end of the day, this is Eugene Bullard we're talking about, right? He was a professional horse jockey at the age of 12. He's been doing manual labor with grown men since he was 13, and he's been a pro boxer since he was 16 years old. There's nothing that this training is going to throw at him that he hasn't voluntarily done to himself already. So Bullard obviously absolutely crushes it, graduates top of his class, becomes a legionnaire. And because he did so well in training, he gets rewarded by getting to carry the machine gun into battle. Honestly, it's just nice to know that all the other militaries across the planet do the same exact shit. Like, oh wow, you did a great job, here's your reward, you get to carry the heavy gun. Also, as soon as we get into a firefight, everybody's going to shoot at you first. But Eugene doesn't care. He's ready to go off and fight for his new home in France. He is part of the 3rd Marching Corps of the French Legionnaires, and they receive orders to go to the Western Front near the Somme River in November of 1914. So they take off marching on foot, they reach the Western Front by early December, and according to legend, one of the first things that Eugene Bullard is told to do is to go and guard one of the flanks during a major German offensive where he needs to hold the line to keep all the other legionnaires from being overrun on the flank. Bullard's famous machine gun cutting down wave after wave of German while the rest of the men in his team run back and forth and getting more and more ammo for Bullard to keep able to do this. This went on for so long and the gun got so hot that it actually boiled off all of the water in its water cooling system, and the gun overheated entirely and was no longer operating. Okay, this is not good. The Germans are still coming. There's no time to run off and get more water, and they can't hold this flank with just bolt-action rifles. They got to do something, and they need to do it fast. So Eugene, thinking quick, does the only thing that comes to mind. He climbs out of the the trench, stands up in front of his machine gun, opens up the water coolant tank, and proceeds to piss into it in front of all of the germs.
That's what I call aquarium tools.
And somehow, thankfully, he doesn't get hit. I don't know if that's divine intervention. I don't know if the Germans had also never seen a black guy, so they were just taken off guard by seeing this dude jump out of the trench and piss into a machine gun, you know, like, oh my god, the French have Jack Johnson on their side. But I mean, realistically, it's probably just plot armor because he's the main character. Regardless, he successfully defends his flank, fighting continues for about a week and a half, and then it's Christmas, 1914, and Eugene Bullard is there and takes part in the famous Christmas truce of 1914, where soldiers from both sides leave their trenches, meet in no man's land, and celebrate Christmas together. After that, early 1915, Bullard and the engineers continued to go on and fight in the Battle of Champagne, where Bullard was not defending flags, he was storming into the trenches. And as I'm sure you can imagine, this particular type of close-quarter combat really favored Bullard with all of his boxing experience. And one of the things that he said was that when he would storm into a trench, these trenches were so full that it was hard to tell after he'd really killed a man, because there literally wasn't room for that guy to fall down. And Bullard is fighting in this type of environment for months and never once gets seriously injured until his unit is finally pulled out, not because the battle is over, but because his unit has experienced over a 50% casualty. So at this point, Bullard's unit is going to be disbanded, at which point all of the men who are still capable of fighting are going to be given a couple of options. You can A, just be done. You can get out of the war, you've done your part, thanks for your service, fuck off. But you're not going to get your citizenship because you haven't served the full 3 to 5 years of the French Legion, if that's what you want. So option B is you can get sent over to North Africa where there's significantly less combat, or option C, you can get restationed with the 170th French infantry and continue to fight in the trenches of Europe. Now, most of the men choose to be sent over to North Africa because trench warfare is absolutely terrifying. But Eugene Bullard isn't here because he wants to defend a bunch of French colonies in Africa. No, he's here because he wants to defend his new home in Paris, France. And that's exactly what he's going to do. He's one of the few men that volunteers to join the 170th Infantry Regiment of the French Army. So he trades in his Legionnaire's uniform for a French infantry uniform and goes right back into combat. Now, the 170th Infantry Regiment is a famous unit in the French military, and their nickname is the Swallows of Death. And after hearing about Eugene Bullard's performance in the Legionnaires and continuing to perform at that same level, if not higher, in the 170th Infantry Regiment, it doesn't take long before he is officially given the nickname the Black Swallow of Death. From here, Bullard fights the Battle of Verdun, one of the deadliest battles in World War II, with over 8 million casualties, and unfortunately, Eugene Bullard was lost. Shortly after Bullard and the men of the 170th took an enemy trench, the Germans began with artillery fire, and a piece of that shrapnel would end up hitting Eugene Bullard in the face, cutting open the side of his face and ripping out most of his teeth on the right side. Despite that, Bullard manages to keep himself in the fight. Now, at this point, most people, at a minimum, will lay low, but not Eugene Bullard. That night, the commander of the 170th needs a volunteer to run through half a mile of machine gun fire and artillery fire to receive important intel and orders from the chain command and bring it back to them. And Bullard volunteers for Bullard, despite his injuries, manages to get this done. He's actually put up to the French Croix de Guerre because of it, which is the equivalent of a Bronze Star. The very next day, Bullard is hit with artillery again, fracturing 2 vertebrae in his back and blowing off a chunk of his thigh, requiring 90 stitches to shut. He's sent back to Paris, where for the next 8 months he is going to have facial reconstruction surgery, he's going to have rehab, desperately trying to regain his ability to walk. While undergoing treatment, he obviously meets a bunch of other soldiers that were also wounded, one of which was a commandant in the French Air Force, and he recommends to Bullard, you know, if you're not going to be able to go back and be a ground gun infantryman, maybe you can be a machine gunner in a plane. You don't need to walk and run around for that, since your leg and walking is no longer your strong suit. Machine guns, why don't you go to aerial gunnery school? I can make it happen, I'm a commandant. So that's what Bullard does. He requests to go into aerial gunnery school, and he is granted that request, considering the fact that he already has Croix de Guerre and a bunch of other French service medals, and he is going to go to aerial gunnery school, but he's got a couple of weeks to leave where he can go out and hang out with his friends in Paris before he does that. And one of his friends was this guy by the name of Jeff Dixon. He was this rich dude who lived in Paris, and when they were out drinking one night, he ended up betting Bullard $2,000 that he can become the world's first black combat pilot, and Bullard accepts the bet. Now, does Bullard have $2,000? No, but he is the main character because he's going to make it happen.
How about you? You bet you make that deal? Damn good deal.
Therapy has always been such a scary idea to me because I simply did not know where to get started. I didn't know how to find my person. I did not know where nowhere to go until BetterHelp came in and helped me solve a lot of those problems. With BetterHelp, I got started on my therapy journey, and
So Bullard goes off to area gunnery school, and as luck would have it, on his very first day there, he runs into a pilot named John DeFar, one of France's very first ace pilots ever. He was a huge boxing fan. He was actually a fan of Eugene Bullard, and he ends up helping Bullard get into the pilot program, getting him through the pilot program, taking him under his wing, teaching him everything he knows. So Bullard goes, graduates pilot school, becomes the world's first black combat pilot. Just for the record, pilot school at this point in time is absolutely terrifying. You gotta realize fighter planes in World War I are all single-seat aircrafts, okay? There's no, you get to go up in the air with a co-pilot who knows what they're doing, they can talk you through it, and if something goes wrong, they can recover the controls from you. No, it's like, once you go up, it's all you, bro, that's it. Okay, most of us had to learn how to drive with a driver's ed teacher running the brakes and potentially the steering wheel, and that's just going forward, backward, left, and right. He's going forward, backward, left, right, up, down, and there's land on what amounts to a fucking kite with an engine attached, okay? Absolutely terrifying, but he manages to do it. Now, what do you do when you're in the military and you graduate a tough course or do something impressive? That's right, you get some leave, you go out and you drink with your buddies, and that's exactly what Eugene Bullard does. He goes back into Paris, tracks down Jeff, and is like, hey, I'm the world's first black combat pilot, where's my new ring? Jeff, man of his word, pays up. And this is my favorite part of the story, because now, according to legend, they go out on the town, they get absolutely hammered, and at some point, Bullard ends up winning a capuchin monkey in a game of dice. So you wake up the next morning, you've got like $1,800 in cash left, you've got a capuchin monkey, what do? Obviously, you pay money to have a custom monkey-sized leather bomber jacket and a set of goggles and a little headset so that your monkey can go on all your missions with you. Oh, and then you had to name him, obviously, so we named the monkey Jimmy, and then because flying around with a capuchin monkey wearing a bomber jacket and goggles isn't enough style points, we're also going to get a custom paint job on our plane of a heart with a dagger going through it that says all blood runs red across the side. Now, Jimmy and Eugene were only actually on active flight duty for like 90 days, and during that 90 days, they've shot down like 5+ planes, but the problem is how you really confirm kill during World War I is actually really difficult. You essentially had to shoot down an enemy plane over your territory so that you could go and actually track down the wreckage. If you shot down an enemy plane and then you shot them down over enemy territory, or if you shot them down over your territory and they managed to lift their plane into enemy territory, they couldn't confirm that that plane was down, so it never actually counted. So while Eugene did shoot down somewhere between 5 and 7 enemy planes, none of them can officially be confirmed because the wreckage didn't make it onto friendly territory. However, 2 of them were probable, maybe that another friendly pilot witnessed him shoot down and heavily damage the enemy plane before it landed in enemy territory. So after 3 months of 25 missions, Eugene goes out to the bar one night and he's wearing his appropriate uniform with all of his medals. And at this point, Eugene has done a lot for the French military and he's been appropriately awarded for it. He has the Croix de Guerre, he has the Wounded Military equivalent of Purple Heart, and he has like, I believe, 13 other medals on his chest, more than most soldiers have. Because of that, a racist officer at the bar that night goes up to Eugene, accuses him of basically stolen valor, saying that he's wearing medals that he didn't actually earn, and the altercation escalates until Eugene Bullard ends up knocking him the fuck out. Now, despite the fact that that guy totally deserved it, he is a superior officer, and Bullard did in fact strike him, and the sentence for that is 5 years of hard labor. However, considering the circumstances and the fact that Bullard was so well decorated for battle, they decided that they were not going to sentence him to 5 years of hard labor. They were instead going to send him back to the 170th Infantry, where he would then basically be a glorified janitor for the rest of the war. And to make things even worse, at some point during this period of time, Jimmy, his loyal capuchin monkey, does end up dying from influenza, and the entire military base has a funeral for him. So yeah, Jimmy dies, and Eugene ends up spending the rest of World War I scrubbing toilets. Definitely not the happy ending we were hoping for. Luckily, this is nowhere near the end of Eugene's story.
In the next 60 seconds, I'm going to show you how to naturally control blood sugar and naturally increase insulin sensitivity. I've got
So World War I comes to an end. Eugene gets released from service, not really knowing what to do next. He just goes back to pro boxing, goes in there, has his first fight. His legs are still messed up. He can't move as quick or as fast as he used to. Despite that, he goes in there, knocks out his opponent, but he breaks his right hand in the process. And to make things worse, the promoter slits out the back door before he pays Bullard, so Bullard doesn't even get paid for this pro fight where he just broke his hand. So Bullard chases his promoter down the alley, chases him down, knocks him on the ground, roughs him up a little bit, takes his wad of cash out from his jacket, takes exactly the amount that Bullard was supposed to get paid, takes that for himself, throws the rest of the money at the guy, and goes back home. So at this point, Bullard comes to grips with reality. He's not the young man he once was. He's got a messed up leg. He's got a messed up back from the war. On top of that, he just broke his hand. He's not going to be able to be a prize fighter for much longer, if at all. So he decides he's going to retire from pro boxing. He decides his next thing is going to be teaching boxing. So he takes all of the money that he has saved up from that winning that prize fight, and he goes and he opens his own boxing gym. Right out of the gate, it's a huge success. He already knows all the pro boxers in town. He's known as a war hero, like 41st century kid to go learn how to box from Eugene Bullard, the black swallow of death. Like, the dude could not be successful with this. So, boxing gym is a huge success. He takes the money that he makes from that and reinvests it into a cafe, and that cafe turns into a bar slash nightclub. Now, because all the world-class pro boxers in the area want to go and train at Bullard's gym, it only makes sense that they're also going to want to go drink and hang out in his bar and his nightclub. And you want to know who enjoys hanging out with all the world-class boxers? All the rich, famous, wealthy people in the area as well. So now, Bullard's nightclub slash bar turns into this really hot-new establishment. The problem is, bars at this point in time have closed early in Paris, but there's a loophole. A bar sells individual drinks, so what Bullard does is he changes it. He no longer sells a pint of beer, a drink of whiskey. He only sells full bottles. He turns it into a bottle club, meaning that he doesn't have to shut down at all. So now, not only is he attracting super high-end clientele, they're also going to be spending a ton of money, and he doesn't have to shut down early like everyone else. So Bullard's Bottle Club ends up being the place to hang out and party in Paris if you're rich, powerful, and famous. All the high-ranking military officers are going there. Bullard's buddies with all of them. Okay, Louis Armstrong performs there. He's personally friend with Eugene Bullard. Louis Armstrong, the famous jazz musician that sings It's a Wonderful World. Josephine Baker performs at his club, who was like the it girl at this point in time. Okay, F. Scott Fitzgerald is his personal friend, the guy that wrote The Great Gatsby. Hemingway ends up hanging out there so much that he based a character off of Eugene Bullard. And the fact that most people have no idea who Eugene Bullard is, despite the fact that he's like one of the biggest main characters of all time, is absolutely insane. And not only are all the other main characters from all over the world flocking to his nightclub in Paris to hang out with him, but people that are seemingly nobodies, that are just adjacent to him, somehow, seemingly through divine intervention, go on to also become humongous main characters. Because you want to know who the dishwasher is at Eugene Bullard's Model Nightclub? It's fucking Langston Hughes. One of the most influential people of the 20th century is doing dishes in the back at Bullard's club. So Bullard is like the pinnacle of social society in Paris at this point in time. Like, everybody wants to hang out at his nightclub. He's a war hero. Everybody knows who he is. So during this time, he also ends up falling in love and marrying a woman by the name of Marcel. And Marcel is basically this heiress to this super rich French family. So they end up dating for a while. They end up getting married. Everything's going great. They decide they're going to start having kids. She ends up giving birth to Bullard's son, who unfortunately passes away at 6 months old from pneumonia. This scars Bullard for the rest of his life. Despite that, they do end up trying to have more kids, and in 1924, they're lucky enough to have a daughter, Jacqueline. Again, in 1927, they have another daughter, Elaine. And for the next couple of years after that, he's living the dream. He's getting everything that he hoped that he was fighting for. He's getting to have breakfast and lunch with his daughters every day before he goes off to work at his nightclub. He has his, wife that they're fortunate enough that she gets to be a stay-at-home mom, and everything's going great. Unfortunately, when Marcel's parents pass away, they end up leaving her a fortune, at which point she gets a little bit tired of her husband who's working at this nightclub all the time. She's super rich, and she just expects him to sell the nightclub, live off their fortune, and they can go to the opera and just have fun for the rest of their life. That's not who Eugene Bullard is. He wants to work for everything he has. He wants to punch his own ticket. He wants to make his own money. He doesn't want to live off the man's fortune, so he refuses to. This ends up causing a rift between Bullard and Marcel, and eventually she would end up leaving Bullard and both their daughters. Bullard ends up telling his daughters that mom actually passed away. I'm not sure why. I'm assuming it's because the mom wanted nothing to do with them, and he thought maybe it would be easier for the daughters to come to terms with the fact that the mom got sick and died, and the mom just doesn't know that. Regardless, Bullard now finds himself in the very same situation that his father was in, with a single dad looking out for his kids. And if that wasn't bad enough, as time goes on and we get further from World War I, closer to World War II, more and more travelers are coming to Paris. You have Americans that are coming back to the place that they have fought or visit, particularly a lot of white men from the South that they act exactly how they act in, I don't know, Mississippi or Georgia at the time, and they think that they're going to be able to come over to Paris and do fun things like happens to be black, particularly Eugene Bullard. And to be completely honest, it pretty much never works out for them. They all get their ass whooped by Eugene Bullard, and the cops show up, and they're like, oh, wow, arrested because he had the audacity to hit a white man, and it's not the case because the cops show up and they're like, oh, what's up, Eugene Bullard, kingpin of Paris that everybody loves? Is this another racist asshole that tried to beat you up and here's your wife? Yeah, cool. We'll arrest his ass. And this happens like damn near hundreds of times. In addition to that, there's another demographic that's to be counted, the Nazi party. He's not going to know that shit either. Like hell he does.
Is your medication making your neuropathy worse? Then listen to this. Christians, did you know there's a biblical solution to be free from neuropathy? It has always been hidden in plain sight, right in the Gospel of John. And what is one of the...
And the reason he starts putting up with them is because he realizes he's a perfect spy and starts working with the French resistance. You see, his high-profile club attracts high-profile Nazi officers, and if you him is just some dumb black guy, he definitely can't speak French and German and English, so they can just say whatever they want from him because he's not going to be able to understand what they're talking about. So he eavesdrops on high-profile Nazi officers all the time and reports it back to the French resistance. And he's so effective at it, they actually end up assigning him like a full-time French resistance spy. Her name is Patrick Carrier, or as everybody calls her, in addition to that, he also starts dating Josephine Baker, the famous woman I mentioned earlier, to start being a spy as well. Now the problem with that is him being the Nazis kind of pisses everybody off, and he can't just go off and tell everybody like, hey, I'm actually being a spy and set him up. So he just kind of has to like let everybody think that he's being friendly with the Nazis when that's not his goal at all. So the general public's kind of pissed off at Eugene. This all comes to a head when this drunk gangster comes staggering into his club at like 2 p.m. asking where Bullard is. So Eugene comes out from the back, and this gangster immediately shoots him and stuff. Now Bullard, having just been shot, immediately collapses down his skin, break his plug armor. He then proceeds to bum rush the guy, take the gun away from him, beat him unconscious, and have him to death with a bottle of booze before collapsing. So his partner Kid and his employees end up getting to the hospital, at which point the doctor examines him and basically says, Bullard ricocheted around inside your intestine before exiting on your right hip. You're like 99% going to die of starving affairs and worse sepsis is going to set in soon. I'm sorry. To which Bullard basically replied like, nah, I'm good, actually. I'm a very busy guy. I've got kids I got to take care of, employees, running a couple of businesses, being a spy. I'm too busy to die right now. Basically, just wills himself to live after the doctor told him he's going to die. Makes a full recovery. It's perfectly fine.
I know punk ass over here talking shit. They spitting out people, man.
Now, the gang that Sherman was a member of was actually hardcore anti-Nazi. They were working with a branch of the French resistance, but it was a different branch than what Bullard was working with. So they basically put a hit out on Bullard to have him killed because they thought he was a hardcore Nazi sympathizer. Not realizing that they were in safety the entire time, the whole thing was just one big miscommunication. So the gang members apologize profusely. They pay him off and beg him not to press charges. They give him a bunch of money, to make up for all the money they lost by not being able to operate his club the entire time. At which point Bullard is like, I mean, okay, I guess, and that's pretty much it. So Bullard goes right back to doing what he was doing. He's running his businesses, he's being a spy, everything's going fine. Then one day from the French resistance, he gets word that, hey, the Germans they're kind of onto you. They don't know exactly who you are, but they do know that one of our top spies is a black dude that either runs or works in this nightclub, and he's like one of our top guys, which kind of narrows it down to you, so just be aware of that. But it's not really an issue because the Germans haven't invaded France until they do. And as soon as that happens, now it's a humongous fucking issue. So after the Germans invade France, he basically has to board up all his businesses. It's impossible to run a business in France at this point in time. At this point, he has two options. He either has to A, cut and run, flee to a different country, or B, at the age of 44, he has to go get a gun and fight the Germans. And this is Eugene Bullard, so he goes, tracks down the 170th Infantry Regiment, his whole unit, and he's going to go fight them. He takes a couple $100, gives the rest of his life savings to his partner Kitty, tells Kitty to watch after his girls until he comes back, and if he dies, get his girls somewhere safe. He loads up a 50-pound backpack with wine, cigarettes, and sardines, which is basically beef jerky, and heads off to the front line to link up with the 170th at the age of 44 years old. Okay, can we just take a minute to appreciate what a fucking gangster Eugene Bullard is? Like, the Germans attack, everybody else is fleeing the country, and his immediate knee-jerk reaction is like, I need a big backpack, I need cigarettes, booze, canned meat, and money for more cigarettes. I'll find a gun along the way. I'm gonna go fight these motherfuckers again, double or nothing. At the age of 44.
Girls, a warning. Don't use these three seeds together unless you're ready to lose.
So that's it. Bullard set off. He's gonna go reach with the 170th and fight the Nazis. He gets about halfway there, and suddenly Bullard's like, okay, cool, I'm gonna turn around too. I'll head back to Paris, check on my kids. I'll find out where a different army unit is, and then I'll go join them. So he gets back to Paris. Germans already have control of it, and it is under complete lockdown. He can't even get in there to check on his kids. Now, there's still pockets of resistance, so he starts asking around, finds out that there's a big unit right outside of Lyon, so he heads that way. Ends up linking up with some of the soldiers there, at which point he's like, okay, I'm just gonna join you guys. They're like, yeah, you're kind of old. We need to go talk to the major in charge. So they send him that way. He goes to the major, walks in, sure enough, it's a guy that he fought with at Verdun. This major immediately recognizes Bullard as the complete badass he was from World War I. He immediately promotes him to sergeant and gives him control of a machine gun squad. He then sends them out to this smaller village outside of Lyon so that they can defend it. On their way there, they get ambushed by the Germans, and they get hit with a German 80 or killed in fire. He ends up killing 11 men, wounding 16, including Bullard. One of the shells lands about 10 feet from him. It launched him 40 feet through the air and smacked him in the side of the building, shattering the vertebrae, ripping multiple ribs, messing up his entire side, and obviously giving him a humongous concussion. He gets brought out by one of the medics. He comes to the hospital, at which point they're like, dude, we're going to get overrun by Nazis. And you're a black American that's fought against World War I and World War II. If they catch you, they're going to kill you on the spot. You need to get out. So he grabs his stuff and just starts limping his way to the RNs for the American embassy so he can get a passport, hopefully get sent over to America where he's going to be safe. He walks all through the night, gets about halfway there, and then in the morning there's this field, and out there there's a soldier sitting on this tree with a bicycle, so he walks out, it's a French soldier, so he's like, hey, I'm going to have breakfast with you, I'm going to hang out for a minute, I'm going to sit there for a bit. So, yeah, sure. He's like, do you have any food or water or anything? You're starving, I'll trade you my bike, whatever. So he ends up trading a couple of cans of sardines for his bike, takes a nap, grabs his bike, rides it over to the BRS, gives the American embassy okay. The embassy lets him cut to the front of the line because he's in a military uniform that's still all bloody and he's clearly wounded. He explains everything that's going on and he's like, I don't have a passport though. I left when I was 12. I ran away. I smuggled myself on a ship in Scotland. I just made my way over to France. So the American embassy's like, shit, okay. And they drag him in the back and they're getting all the information. Where were you born? What's your birthday? There was somebody there that was actually from Columbus, Georgia. He's kind of quizzing him on the area, making sure that he's not lying. And he knows absolutely everything about Columbus, Georgia. Passes the test. Okay, this guy's legit. So they fill out the paperwork for him to be able to get a passport. The problem is, you can't actually get the passport there. You can just get the paperwork okay to get the passport there. You have to go to a different town 175 miles away to get your picture taken and have the right person sign off on your passport. Now at this point, you would think surely you could, I don't know, maybe hook a guy up and fucking make it work, but no, absolutely not. This is the government. We have to stick to our bureaucratic nonsense. Eugene Bullard hops back on his bike and takes 2.5 days to pedal his ass 175 miles away. He finally gets there 2.5 days later. They're closed because everybody's out of lunch. Typical government nonsense. So he takes a nap. They show back up from lunch, gets his passport, does the paperwork, gets his picture taken. The whole thing takes like 3 hours. Comes back outside. He's going to pedal his ass back 175 miles. Somebody stole his fucking bike. So now he walks 175 miles back. No, I'm just kidding. He actually steals somebody else's bike and rides that back. Okay, look, I'm here for it. There's only one thief in the army. Everybody else is just trying to get their shit back. That's the rules. So another 2-day bike ride makes it back to BRS, gets to the embassy. They immediately put him on his way back to America. He has to go through Spain, through Portugal. The entire trip takes like 2.5 days. He winds up in New York City and immediately starts doing anything he can to make money and calling up any connection we can possibly think of, desperately trying to figure out if his daughters are okay, and if they are, how he's going to get them back to America. And this goes on for months, just desperately trying to figure out how to get him in contact with his daughters and potentially get them back to America. And then he actually manages to get in contact with one of his old buddies, a guy that hung out in his club all the time, the ex-ambassador to France on behalf of America, Mr. Bullock. He still works in the United States State Department. So he gets a hold of him, ends up having a meeting, explains the situation. Mr. Bullock makes one phone call, and the next day, Bullard finds out that his daughters are okay, they're now in American custody and protection, and they're going to be sent back to America to be ritual. Now, the United States government is going to front the money, but Bullard is going to have to pay them back, has no idea how he's going to be able to do it. Veterans groups find out, they raise money, and pay off the entire thing. Bullard gets reunited with his daughters, Jacqueline and Lolita, and they are now living in a 750 square foot apartment in Harlem, while Bullard goes back to being a longshoreman, doing anything he can to make money and raise his daughters. years. A couple of months go by, everything kind of stabilizes, they're getting used to their new environment, everything's starting to look good, so naturally Bullard, being Bullard, goes to the recruiting office of every branch of the United States military, volunteering for service because he wants to go back and keep fighting the Nazis. They politely decline. So Bullard just keeps working, keeps raising his daughters. This goes on for years and years, and then eventually his daughters grow up, they get married, they move off and do their own thing, and he is now just in this apartment by himself. After World War II came to an end, he tried to reestablish his rights of ownership to his gin and his nightclub. Unfortunately, nothing ever came of it. He was at least able to get France to recognize the military service, so France was now paying him military pension for being a veteran. So Bullard's just kind of working, doing his thing. Then the 1950s roll around, and one of his old buddies hits him up, a guy by the name of Louis Armstrong, one of the most famous jazz musicians of all time. He's like, hey, I'm in New York, I need a backup drummer, my guy's sick, you want to come out, I gotta do some recordings. So Gene Bullard is actually on recordings with Louis Armstrong being his drummer in like multiple songs. He's literally like the Black Forest guy. Like he's done so much random, incredible shit, it doesn't even make sense. Now by this point in time, Eugene's getting up there in age, he's really starting to feel all of his old war injuries. He can't keep being a longshoreman any longer. He needs to get a job that's a little bit easier on the body, so he ends up getting a job as an elevator operator at Rockefeller Center. The craziest part about this is nobody has any idea who Bullard is in America. They've never really talked about him. He's never really been in the press. He's like a legend over in France, but he's just a humble elevator operator in New York City here in America. And in 1954, the humble elevator operator is requested upon by the French government to fly over to France and to light the eternal flame at the tomb of the unknown French soldier, which he does. And then he just goes right back to operating the elevator in the city. And then in 1959, he is called upon by France again, and he is awarded the Medallion Militaire, which is the French equivalent of the Medal of Honor, and he is also made a Knight of France. Those, combined with the Croix de Guerre that he already has, comprise the three highest honors that the government of France can bestow upon anyone, and he's got all of them. Now, the entire time he's been an elevator operator, he's always like wearing a couple of medals or two. Nobody really says much about it. They don't recognize what they are. They're French medals. Why would anybody know that? And then he comes back and he's got, the Legion of Honor, the medal that made him a knight, and he wears that to work one day. And there's this guy, his name's Dave Garroway. He's a show, a very, very popular show at the time. And he hops in the elevator with Gene again for probably the 1000th time. And for whatever reason on this day, Dave Garroway recognizes that medal. He's like, Gene, what is it? He's like, oh, it's the Legion of Honor. It's just awarded recently. He's like, what? And Gene is like, yeah, I fought World War I and World War II. I was the first black combat pilot ever, so I kind of have some medals. At which point Dave Garroway is like, do you want to get interviewed, like today, like right now? And Bullard's like, I'm working, I'd have to find somebody to cover my shift. And he's like, I'll make a phone call, trust me, you're fine, just come on, you're going to get interviewed on live TV right now. So he goes on live TV for 15 minutes in his elevator operator's uniform. The whole thing goes viral for the 1950s. He ends up going on a bunch of other news shows. They all request that he wears elevator operator's uniform because it's like kind of a shtick, I guess. But regardless, he gets his 15 minutes of fame. People finally start to know, recognize who he is. All this attention from the public actually inspires him to team up with an author and have his memoirs written and hopefully get them published. Unfortunately, once they were finished, no publisher wanted to publish them because, and I quote, the story's too unbelievable. Luckily, there are several books written about him. Both of them are called All Blood Runs Red, one by Henry Harris and one by Phil Keith. From here, he has one last one with his son. The president of France comes to America for a trip, and they're making a huge deal out of it. There's a parade when he gets here. They're like, filming him, and everybody's watching him go to Saks Fifth Avenue, go shopping. He's got this speaking engagement at this auditorium with like 5,000 people, and Eugene Bullard shows up in the speaking event. The president, when he walks in, the crowd's cheering. He locks eyes with Eugene Bullard, and he sees him. The president walks straight up to him and says, "Are you Eugene Bullard?" To which he says, "Yes, Mr. President, I am." And he goes to shake his hand, and the president kind of swats his hand away and pulls Eugene in for a bear hug and says, "All of France owes you a great debt," as everybody cheers. It's the perfect moment. Like, it's the end of Lord of the Rings. It's perfect.
Yes, I have one game night.
You want the gator night by itself, or would you like it?
New deal. What new deal?
Shortly after this, he was diagnosed with a very aggressive form of intestinal cancer that would rapidly bring about the end of his life. 3 days after his 66th birthday, he would pass away. The last person to visit him was the author of his memoirs, Louise Martin. When she got there, he was unconscious in bed, laying down, hooked up to a breathing tube, and she's kind of crying quietly. He must have heard her, because the last words that he ever said was he woke up, pulled out his breathing tube, and said, "Don't fret, honey, it's easy." The dude can't even die without being a complete badass. At his request, he was buried in a simple plot of the Federation of French War Veterans Cemetery in Leeds. His grave is marked by a 1-foot slab of concrete on top of it, bearing his name, his date of birth, and his date of death. Also, at his request, he was buried in his uniform. Not his flight uniform, not the fancy suit that he wore while he was a spy in a nightclub owner, not with a set of boxing gloves, but in his French Legionnaire uniform. Which tells me that at the end of the day, despite living one of the most incredible lives in human history, he didn't want to be remembered as the first black combat pilot, or the professional boxer, or the spy in the nightclub owner. He wanted to be remembered as a man who picked up a gun and went off into battle to fight for the Union, just like Americans. Thank you for watching. Best way to support the channel is go buy some merch over at battleelectrician.com. Whack bang. Out. Okay, good. Now that I'm not fighting back here, let me talk about something for a minute. Will you look at this man right here? Okay, the dude has done like 12 different chapters of his life, and all of them are infinitely more badass than anything I will ever do. And he has the audacity to look like a professional male model the entire fucking time he does it. This is outrageous. Okay, I gotta go like hug my kids or something. I feel like I've accomplished nothing with my life. I hate it when I start researching for a video and the truth ends up getting a good story. Luckily, this is a good story regardless. Today we're talking about America's first naval ace in World War II. Ladies and gentlemen, Edward Butch O'Hare. But first, a word from our sponsor. This video is brought to you by Delete Me. Is that a seal? Guys, I gotta go. Well, actually, hold on. What's a chamber then? Yeah, I gotta go. Sorry about that. Anyways, Delete is super straightforward. You give them money, they make sure that all your personal information isn't being sold on the internet by data brokers. You see, data brokers are required to stop selling your information if you submit an opt-out request. However, submitting an opt-out request is different for every different data broker firm, and they make it as difficult as possible. Delete does all of it for you automatically. Then, after they do all your information from data brokers, they continue to monitor all of those data brokers in case their information does get relisted again, and they will automatically take it down again. I like to a lot. It's a service that I actually use. I also just got my wife signed up for it a couple months ago. As you can see here, we checked for 142 different data brokers, and 80 of them have your personal information, and they show us what information that they had. So if you want to give it a try, we'll have a link and a discount code down below. Let's get back to the video. Now, our story actually begins with his father. So, once upon a time in 1893, Edward Joseph O'Hare and Jane Herschel was born in St. Louis, Missouri as his son. First-generation Americans and had just come to the fire. He spent his entire childhood in St. Louis, and in 1912 he would meet his wife Selma and would end up getting married and in an apartment above a grocery store that was owned by Selma's father. Shortly after that, in 1914, Selma would give birth to her first child, Edward O'Hare, that would become known as Butch. Butch would also get two little sisters, Mary and Patricia, and by all accounts, they had a really happy little family. Okay, fast forward to 1923, and Jane gets his state board, passes it, becomes a lawyer, almost immediately gets his new wife, he spent he is the commissioner of the Radio Racing Association in the entire nation. And he gets a lawyer because he gets the patent his new invention, that little electric rabbit that goes around the dog racing track and all the dogs chase. So EJ gets it done for him, and then Owen decides he wants to keep him around, so he makes him a business partner because he needs a good lawyer who's going to be able to help him keep dog tracks Why continue any historical event and tie it back to prohibition? Somehow, in some way, in some fashion, I know it's possible. I mean, just off the top of my head from videos that I've already covered, prohibition is directly responsible for Domino's not going bankrupt in 2012. Every American warship having an ice cream machine on it. That time that America had multiple ships completely dedicated to just making ice cream and distributing it to the Pacific Theater of World War II. The fact that there's 7 billion pounds of cheese in underground caves all over America. The fact that every dairy farmer is required by law to pay into a giant advertising fund so that they can advertise milk, which is where God milk came from. Pretty much all the IRS comes regarding tax evasion, and now this story as well is also brought to you by prohibition. At one time, the U.S. government tried to ban alcohol, and it failed miserably. Now, as we all know, after alcohol got banned, organized crime stepped in. They started distributing alcohol. They established speakeasies. They had bootleggers. They manufactured their own booze, and they made a ton of money while they did it. And by 1925, they had gotten so wealthy and so powerful that they were actually able to buy off politicians and law enforcement. They were able to get away with whatever they wanted, and they were looking for more ways to make even more money, whether it was legal or not. And one of the things they decided they wanted to do was to get into gambling via dog racing tracks, and now they had politicians on their payroll. They would actually be able to get the building permits, build whole new dog racing tracks, and not be busted for gambling, but law enforcement means they would pan off them too. So if you're a big-time mobster that wants to get involved in dog racing, money's not going to be an issue. Getting building permits from politicians isn't going to be an issue, and the law enforcement's going to leave you alone. What's the last thing you need? You need somebody that knows how to run a dog racing track and one of those stupid electric rabbit things, right? Right. So that's what they do. The mobsters go and they get a hold of Owen Smith and his legal consigliere, E.J. O'Hare. And when I say mobsters, I just mean the first big-time guy to figure all this out and put the plan together, and that was a gentleman from Chicago by the name of Al Capone. Yeah, E.J. and Owen are now partnered with Scarface.
Suspicious. It's 7 times a year he raises some flags.
Music?
Kill music!
Come home for the holidays to Disney Plus. Let's go. Now bundle subscribers can watch select Hulu and ESPN Plus favorites on Disney.
Capone's connections, they even contracts in Chicago, Miami, and Boston. They make a ton of money. And this goes on for years, and EJ ends up earning his new nickname from the mob, Easy Eddie. Back in the O'Hare house, they go from, doing pretty okay financially to being very wealthy very quickly. And despite EJ, Easy Eddie, dad being in bed with the mafia and working with Al Capone, when he's back home, by all accounts, he's a terrific father to all 3 of his kids and a great husband to his wife. But Butch, his son, is the absolute apple of his eye. They have a really special relationship. Using all this new money he has, he goes up and takes him camping, teaches him how to shoot guns, and then he gets into flying airplanes, loves taking Butch up in the airplane with him, and sometimes even letting him get control of the plane. Butch falls in love with both flying and shooting guns. And this goes on for years, being a bad guy for a living and being a good dad back at home. So fast forward 1927, Owen P. Smith ends up passing away. Now, since his business partner just passed away, he acquires the business and the patent for the electric rabbit. This one thing's a little controversial, depending on the source you want to read. Some sources imply that he swindled Owen's widow out of the patent and out of the money, and some other sources say that he basically paid her out. Which, to be fair, both of those are completely possible. He is a crooked lawyer working for the mafia, and also it's pretty standard practice that if you are in a business partnership and your partner passes away, then you buy out his shares and you acquire the entire business. So you can go ahead and pick whichever one you like to do for that. Now, it's also at this point in time, right around 1927, that Easy Eddie and his wife Selma come to the realization that their son Butch is adapting a little bit too well to their new life of luxury. I mean, they have enough money to give their kids anything they want. The problem with Butch is all he wants is to sit in a house, read books, and eat donuts 3 times a day. He's 13 years old. He's already starting to get fat and kind of lazy. And one day he reaches peak laziness when he asks his mother at the age of 13, "Hey, Mom, can I borrow the car to go to the bakery?" The bakery is literally 4 doors down where he buys his donuts. He didn't want to walk like 60 feet to go get a box of donuts and feed it. At that point, his parents realized that they had a problem with their needs. So they do what any good parents would do. They come to him with love and compassion, and they hold his hand, and they look deeply into his eyes, and they tell him, "It's okay, I'm this fucking kid." They sent his ass straight to military school. So he gets shipped off to Western Military Academy in Illinois. Fast forward 3 years, 1930, Butch is in his junior year of military school, and he absolutely loves it. He's not much for conventional sports like football and wrestling. However, he did end up joining the water polo team, which he really enjoyed, and that's actually how he got his nickname Butch. He has decided not only does he enjoy military school, but he wants to go on to be in the actual military. He wants to go directly into the U.S. Naval Academy. So that's what Butch is up to already rich, and then you just stopped doing bad stuff. That would set a pretty good example. I'm also 17, so I don't need you to just like set the example. I'm old enough and mature enough to understand the concept of like, hey, do as I say, not as I do. You know, maybe don't go get yourself killed basically for no reason.
Even annoying. I know. Jump to one story. Doesn't make sense, does it?
So again, that's complete nonsense, fairy tale, and not only is it not historically supported, it also doesn't even make sense if you understand people even a little bit. Okay, so here's what actually happened. In 1930, Easy Eddie does start working with the IRS because he's running all the dog tracks, he's helping out with the books, and basically honor all the company. He's going to be able to show the IRS how he's doing it, which is going to be able to allow them to let out the prison for tax evasion. Now, from here, there's another myth that honestly I also don't buy. Basically, they insinuate that Easy Eddie actually helped the feds put away on the loan in exchange for guaranteeing that his son, Butch O'Hare, got into the U.S. Naval Academy. Okay, and again, I don't know where this myth came from. I don't know why people believe this. There's almost no historical evidence that supports it, and if you think about it, it doesn't even make sense. Okay, the U.S. Naval Academy has like a 10 to 12% acceptance rate. Butch O'Hare just spent the last 5 years in one of the most prestigious military academies in the United States, and he performed well there. He's pretty much guaranteed a slot at the U.S. Naval Academy at this point. And we know how he performed once he got into the U.S. Naval Academy, and there was nothing that even remotely suggested that he didn't belong there. So, if he was going to get it anyways, why on earth would Easy Eddie go get out and go turn in and get himself killed for no reason? So, what do I think happened? I think that was 1950 Nelly and Ness and these little uncorruptible cops from the museum touchables were going around looking all the monsters in jail, and Al Capone was number one on their list. Easy Eddie being the intelligent guy that he was realized that if they got Al Capone, and then they would just start working their way down the ladder, and they would eventually get to him too. So he figured, hey, maybe I should help them get Al Capone, and then I'll get my own freedom instead. Now, in addition to this, to be fair to the myth that I did just try to debunk, it would not surprise me if there was some portion of this conversation where Easy Eddie was like, hey, I'm going to be your guys' informant. My son is applying for the U.S. Naval Academy. If for some reason it gets brought up that his dad is a famous mafia guy that works for Al Capone, and that is going to prevent him from getting in for that reason alone, I need you guys to tell them that I don't actually work for the mafia anymore, and I'm working for you as an informant. That way my son gets what he deserves. Okay, that is a very, very big difference between he got his son in by turning in Al Capone, and he got out of his son's way, while also saving his own skin, which is probably his primary goal to begin. Regardless, Al Capone gets arrested and put in jail for tax evasion in 1931. Then in 1932, Butch sends off to the U.S. Naval Academy. While attending the academy, Butch does a great job and goes back home every chance he gets to hang out with his mom, his dad, and his two sisters. Now, right around this time, Easy Eddie and Selma end up getting a divorce, and Easy Eddie actually moves to Chicago so he can be closer to the racetrack that he's running. Okay, fast forward 1937, Butch graduates from the Naval Academy and decides he wants to go off and be a pilot. There's a problem. You can't just go off and be a pilot right after you're a commissioned officer after graduating from the academy. You have to serve a minimum of 2 years in the Naval Service. So he sets off to do that, serving his 2 years in the battleship, the USS Harrison. So he does that for the next 2 years while Dad is back home running the dog tracks in Chicago. Then 1939 rolls around. He's done his 2 years worth of time in the service. He applies to be in an aviation school and he gets accepted. And right as he is about to ship off to go become a pilot, he receives word that his father has been murdered on November 8th, 1939. Easy Eddie had just left his office at the dog track in Chicago. He was driving home and pulled up to a stoplight. 2 armed gunmen got out with full-gauge shotguns and opened fire on him inside his car. And he tried to escape, but he was shot multiple times and ended up veering off and crashing into the road and passed away. Now, technically, we don't actually know who killed Eddie. This is considered a cold case. However, pretty much everybody agrees it was mafia because he was assassinated approximately 1 week before Al Capone was set to get out of prison from the tax evasion charges that Eddie held in the first place. So everybody just kind of assumed that this was Al Capone's gift for getting out of prison. Now, going back to my original anger with the oversimplified version of the story from blogs and newspapers and magazines and other YouTube videos, when they tell the story, it's like Easy Eddie helps turn in Al Capone and then he is assassinated for it. They fail to mention that he's assassinated like 9 years later, okay, which I feel is kind of an important detail. Okay, setting that aside, Butch takes emergency leave, he comes back home and he buries his father. And this is obviously extremely hard to do because that's his dad that died. But to make it even worse, the newspaper and the media is dragging his father and by extension his entire family completely through the mud. You gotta remember this in the 1930s, the anti-mafia sentiment is an all-time high. Because of this, the newspapers and law enforcement hype anything up they possibly can to make genius lawyer that kept the entire mafia out of prison came from. That's how the media portrayed him afterwards. And did Easy Eddie do some bad stuff? Yeah, absolutely. He enabled the mafia to make money from illegal gambling and dog racing tracks, and he made a bunch of money in the process as well. However, at no point was he the evil mastermind who was keeping Al Capone and all the mobsters out. And having the newspapers vilifying to that degree was devastating for Butch and his family. I mean, yeah, he did some bad things, but he was a great dad to them. And from their perspective, he probably did those bad things to provide for his family. Whether that's right or wrong is a different conversation. But to them, he was still their hero. He was a great guy in their eyes. Not only did they have to deal with the emotional and mental stress of that, but they were also starting to be treated different by their community because now the entire community was looking down on them because Easy Eddie was apparently this evil criminal mastermind, and all the money they had, all the fancy cars and the big house, was clearly blood money, and now nobody liked the family either. At this point in time, it would appear that the last name on here was forever going to be associated with the mafia who looked down on them for it. Now, I don't know this for sure because Butch never wrote about it, so I can't truly know his intentions. However, putting myself in this situation, I have to assume that he felt like his dad was in fact a good guy who was driven to do bad things for the right reason. Being in Butch's shoes, that's his dad, who was his best friend, who was his hero. Realizing that his dad had done horrible things to put Butch in the advantageous position that he was in now, having gone to military school, having graduated from the U.S. Academy, and now being headed off to flight school, Butch couldn't afford to waste the opportunity. His dad had become a villain so that Butch had the opportunity to become a hero. So Butch does everything he can do. He goes back out to flight school. While there, he does okay in the classroom. He's not the best with taking tests. But when it comes to actually getting Butch inside the planes, he is exceptional. He is one of the best pilots I've ever seen. And he's even better at gunnery. This guy can go rounds on target with his eyes closed. Graduated from flight school in May of 1940. Then he gets stationed on the USS Saratoga, an aircraft carrier VF-3. Okay, now at this point, we are in early 1940. World War II has officially started, but America is not directly involved yet. That being said, pretty much everybody in the military is aware that America is going to be involved soon, and they are training extra hard to get ready for that, as well as training as many new recruits as possible. So all of America's best warfighters at this point in time are pretty much sent in to go train as many new guys as possible. And the man in charge of VF-3 to get all these new guys trained up and ready for war is a legendary pilot by the name of John Thatch. And this man is a complete badass. He is basically Maverick from Top Gun, except in the 1930s. This guy was training all the new guys that came through VF-3. And it was his standard practice to take the best, cockiest new pilots they had, and he would take them up in theater, F4F Wildcats, and have a mock dogfight. He would allow the cocky new guy to get to that advantageous position on him, just to shake them off, get behind them, and shoot that down, just to show them how good they're not. Just the complete dad energy over there, set a tone right now out of the gate. You're not that good, you're gonna shut up, you're gonna listen to what I have to tell you, because it's the best chance you have at making it through this war that we have now. The dude is out there right now just breaking egos for a living, until one day there's a new pilot that shows up. He's not particularly cocky, but he's highly regarded as one of the best they have. And Thatch wants to take him up in the air just to see what he has. And he does what he always does. He lets them get in the advantageous position, except this young pilot by the name of Butch O'Hare is so good that Thatch can't shake him. Now, Thatch is a better pilot overall, but O'Hare is so close in caliber to Thatch that if Thatch does give up the tactical advantage, he's not able to recover. After seeing how incredibly talented Butch is, Thatch decides to take him under his wing and becomes his mentor. So they train a ton. It's that Yoda and Luke, the Mickey and Rocky type relationship. And one of the things that they start doing is they start trying to address the issues that they know they're going to run into once the war starts. And the big issue right off the bat is Japan's new fighter plane, the Mitsubishi Zero, that came out in 1940. It is faster and more maneuverable than the Grumman F4F Wildcats by a long shot. Hey, this means not only does the Zero have the edge in combat, it also means that the F4F Wildcats can't really run away because the Zeros will just chase them down and shoot them out of the sky. So Thatch, being the tactical genius he is, realizes the only chance they're going to have is to fight. The situation is kind of like when he first met Butch and took him up into the sky. Thatch is a better pilot than Butch. However, if he was able to give up that small advantage, he wasn't able to recover. He needs to find whatever that small advantage is that the F4F Wildcat has over the Zero so that he can enable his map. And what he comes up with is a tactic that will later come to be known as a Thatch move. It's basically a counterpunch because he knows the Zeros are going to end up behind the Wildcats. They're faster, they're more maneuverable. Once a Wildcat has a Zero on its tail, another Wildcat's going to pull up next to it, and then they're going to cross paths, and then they're going to cross paths a second time, kind of like a zipper. And right as they're about to cross paths the second time, the wingman is directly lined up with the broadside of the enemy Zero. He's going to be able to move the fire without running the risk of shooting down his friend. So it looks good on paper, but obviously he's got to see if it works in real life. So he calls upon his protege, young Butch O'Hare, to go up with a bunch of other planes to beat the bad guys and try to chase down him and his guys where he get tested and attacked. And it works out great. Butch was not able to shoot down the enemy. The thatch wing would then be proven combat effective at the Battle of Midway, and it is still considered a viable dogfighting tactic to this day. During all this training, Butch would actually get some time off. He goes out and meets a young woman by the name of Rita, and on their very first date, he asks her to marry him. She says yes, because Butch O'Hare does this. They then go, they have a honeymoon in Hawaii, they come back, and they start living together in Coronado, California, while BF3 is stationed in Long Island, Naval Center. And while he lived there, everything was great. He was training with Con, he was busy, but he didn't get to go home to his new wife every single night. And then one day, Thatch decided to make everybody in BF3 come in for extra training on what appeared to be a random Sunday in December of 1941. And they did their training in the morning. Thatch cut everybody loose for lunch, and they were supposed to report back and finish training that night. And as Butch O'Hare was driving to his apartment to meet up with his wife for lunch, over the radio he would find out that Pearl Harbor had been attacked. He gets home, he tells his wife, and I quote, "The Japanese have attacked Pearl Harbor. I'm to board the Saratoga as soon as possible." It's reported. The very next day, the USS Saratoga and VF-3 set off from North Island to go participate in World War II. On their way there, the world would find out about Wake Island, where 450 Marines and 1,200 civilian construction workers fought off the Japanese on the small Coralline Hill that the Japanese wanted to use as a forward operation base. In the initial defense of Wake Island, the Marines and the construction workers were able to sink two enemy destroyers and a submarine, repelling their entire force. And this is looked at as America's first victory over Japan. And it was a silver lining that the entire country looked to in the days after World War I. Because of this, America would immediately send ships to reinforce Wake Island. However, the ships that were leaving Pearl Harbor had a humongous head start. Amongst the American ships making their way there was Butch O'Hare and USS Saratoga, as well as the rest of BF-3. Unfortunately, the American leadership would come to the realization that they were not going to be able to beat the Japanese there, and they didn't want to risk losing any more ships than they already had in Pearl Harbor, and they were ordered to back off and not try to save the Marines and the construction workers in Wake Island. After 2 weeks of fighting, the Marines and the construction workers were forced to surrender. Those that did not die in combat were either executed or held as POWs for the remainder of World War II. Because of how brutally the Japanese treated the civilian construction workers, the American government realized that they couldn't rely on civilian contractors to do all their construction or forward operation bases in the future. This is where the Navy's construction battalion was originally founded, aka the Seals. And those civilian construction workers that were on Wake Island are considered to be America's first honorary Seals. During the same time, the USS Saratoga would be attacked by an enemy torpedo, and VF-3 would have to rotate and now be stationed on the USS Lexington. Once there, it's Lexington's mission to penetrate deep into enemy territory so they can attack before ever moving. They get like 450 miles away, and all of a sudden, a Japanese recon plane spots them. So he sends and fires up. Thatch himself shoots down this enemy recon plane. But he didn't get to him fast enough because they got that radio transmission out, and the Japanese bombers are already on the way to hit the USS Lexington. They start getting fires up in the air as fast as they can as 9 Japanese G4M Betty bombers show up, and some of the fighters are already starting to engage the bombers, shooting them down. And Butch O'Hare is the last man slotted to get up in the air. He's sitting there on the flight deck in his Wildcat, fully filled up, as the bombers are coming in, getting attacked by the other Wildcats, and he's just waiting his turn to get up in the air, hoping that the bombers don't make it and bomb the USS Lexington and right on top of it, and a fully filled up aircraft. By the time Butch gets up in the air, the combat's basically over. The bombers have bombs, and all of them missed.
Alright!
That worked so far.
In the span of 4 minutes, Butch O'Hare pulled off the impossible, going toe-to-toe with the entire Japanese bombing formation. During that time, he was everywhere and nowhere all at the same time. The entire bombing formation returning fire on Butch managed to hit him with a total of 1 bullet. Butch was an ancient man. He so quickly from so many different angles that one of the surviving Japanese pilots said, and I quote, "Enemy planes swirl around us, zooming, banking, diving, attacking us from all directions, not realizing what was watching." So before the Japanese planes had dropped their bombs, they came off, they retreat, but the plan is still going. He drops his landing gear, and some new guy on the deck opens fire on him with a 50 caliber machine. Luckily, he was all this. Butch gets out of his wildcat, walks up to the guy that was just shooting at him. Some new kid that's now just shitting his pants because he almost just killed the hero of the day. Butch walks up and says, "Son, I don't mind if you shoot at me. Just try not to do it with my hand." Which is probably the politest way of calling this kid in into his face imaginable, considering that he just shot at him with a 50 caliber machine gun. Hey kid, if a plane has its landing gear down and you're on an aircraft carrier, it's probably trying to land on you, meaning it's not an enemy. Why would you shoot? Okay, now let's spread us over this. It's been like 30 minutes of spread. We gotta figure out what all happened, where everything's happening, okay? And we have to get the plane ready in case there's another attack. There's a lot of stuff. So Butch, all the other pilots, pretty much everybody else in this team, goes in to get debriefs so the chain of command can try to figure out what all happened in this very busy couple of minutes. So Butch goes in and says, I shot up 7 of those planes from the good. I'm pretty sure I downed 6 of them. He was the captain of the USS Lexington. It's like, actually, I'm going to go ahead and put credit with 5 because after you pulled off after your last run, there was still 4 bombers in the air that dropped the bombs. So it was originally not going to get where I can think you shot down 7 times. Well, pretty much everybody saw that. So now Butch is officially credited with down 5 planes. This considering his pilot first big league in piece of war. And at first, Butch doesn't think anything of it. He doesn't regard himself as being special. He doesn't think what he did was incredible. He thought he was actually one of those who would have done it. As far as Butch O'Hare is concerned, the only thing about that day that was unique to him was that he happened to be in the right place at the right time. He wasn't necessarily in the right time. And then he came out and debriefed him. The USS Lexington had already been given a machine shop and made him explode. He was everybody's best friend. He was the hero of the day that saved the USS Lexington. Everybody was in love with Butch O'Hare, America's first piece. The crew of USS Lexington and the rest of the F3 actually adopted him during the song that night as well. There was something along the words of O'Hare, O'Hare, did the Japanese bombers go? O'Hare, O'Hare. Okay, now sidebar, in the spirit of full disclosure, retroactively after World War II, it has been decided that Butch O'Hare actually only shot down 3 enemy bombers. Apparently, this is because the Japanese documented that actually the 3 planes were shot down during that wave. 3 of them returned back severely shot up, and 1 of them apparently got lost in a storm. Okay, and this is where I get annoyed, because on one hand, I understand wanting to figure out the truth and clarify things, but also I feel like Americans typically tend to believe what the enemy says happened more than they believe the word of their own history. When the captain of the USS Lexington looks up at the sky, he's like, 1, 2, 3, there's 4 left, the rest were shot down. I don't know why we're not believing that guy. Why are we believing the Japanese documentation over that? And don't get me wrong, I understand that people make mistakes, and maybe the captain miscounted, maybe the entire crew that was also watching had a bad account of what happened, because the enemy never ever makes mistakes, just like the enemy that was under the impression that he was getting attacked by it. But hey, whatever. I'm not the expert. That's one thing. Whatever. Maybe everybody on the USF flights did miscounted, and the Japanese counted right. I guess that is possible. However, I will argue till I die that the Japanese pilot that got shot up by Butch O'Hare and then actually got lost in a storm that none of the other shot up planes managed to get lost in absolutely got shot down by Butch O'Hare. Okay, I don't care if the storm did the last 5% of the damage. Butch should get credit for that. Okay, it's completely lunacy to say anything other than that. I mean, for real, apply this logic to any other situation. Imagine if you're at a party and there's an altercation that breaks up between guy A and guy B, and guy A pulls out a gun, shoots guy B in the chest 17 times, and then guy B falls into the pool. Okay, or you're like, oh, that guy drowned. No, guy A killed guy B. Okay, that's obvious. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. I get super annoyed when there's some people that have nothing better to do with their lives and look back and retroactively try to undermine them. Honestly, Butch O'Hare probably wouldn't have cared as much because all he cared about was saving his dude. But also, he's a better man than I am. So, whatever. Moving on. Anyway, so over the next couple of days, things are going to be on the dish. However, the Cougars are likely to get still on mission. They still need to play a role so they can attack the fort. And then once they get there, they start launching raids. Now, Butch is pumped. He wants to get back to the air. He wants more combat. That's what he's here for, right? However, it is decided by Thatch that Butch and Duff are to stay in the USF flight command while everybody else goes out and picks up raids. And the theory behind that was, at least the stated theory as to what Thatch told O'Hare was, hey, we're leaving you guys to defend it because you know if everything goes bad, you two by yourself can defend the USF flight command. That's what Thatch told. In reality, Thatch knew that Butch O'Hare was being put up with the Medal of Honor, and so did the rest of the chain. And they knew that they could not afford to let Butch get killed. Okay, this is early 1942. This is 2 months after Pearl Harbor. The only silver lining, the only good news that America has gotten in the past 90 days was about the Marines and the construction workers making their last stand in the fight. And now they have all been captured, either killed or put in internment camps. Okay, America has not had any good news, except now they have the story of Butch O'Hare, the man who became an ace in the ordnance. Shortly after this, Butch is informed that he's going to be receiving the Medal of Honor, to which he directly tells Thatch, I don't want it. He doesn't want it. He doesn't want to have to go back stateside. He wants to stay out there with his men. He still does not feel as though he did anything special. And the man that has been his father figure, his mentor for the past couple of years, basically pats Butch on the shoulder and informs him, too bad, deal with it. You're a hero now. Now you gotta go do that, because that's ultimately what's gonna be the best for us. And with that, Butch is sent back home stateside where there is both a literal parade for him when he arrives, and he is then metaphorically paraded around the country, conducting interviews, doing anything he can to boost the morale of the American people and the military in a way. During this metaphorical parade, he makes his way to the White House where he is awarded the Medal of Honor by FDR, and his very own wife, Rita, is the one who is to put him around. And all of this is because he was just some fat very nice and more than a little embarrassed by the entire thing. So he's paraded around the country, helping himself for a long time. Then, he said to come back to the one for some more. And while there, he was Major John Madden is set to get a promotion and move on to advance his career. He is going to be replaced by none other from the Jay Butch O'Hare. On June 1942, Butch O'Hare formally John Madden, the man who is John Madden then went on to say, and I quote, I know I'm no longer will ever see a day my own training with new battles. Of course, referring to Butch O'Hare. This meant Mark Bush. Unfortunately, this did not mean Butch was going to go back to combat. BFP had actually been taking about the training all of the new pilots to get ready for war, because America's practice at the time was to save all of our best pilots and make them teachers to train the next generation, as opposed to the Japanese who, well, they used up all their pilots.
Okay.
So Butch and the remaining combat veterans of BF3 start training a bunch of new guys, and Butch officially becomes known as the King of Mountain. Because I mean, he's the war hero, everybody knows his name, he's training all the new guys, he's in charge. This guy is clearly the main hero. This is important time because he's training the next generation of fighter pilots and eventually taking the combat, but he also is available every night to spend time with his wife. And during this period, they end up having their daughter, Kathy. He is the main March. With Butch being on the training, BF3 became known as Butch problem with that, Butch is now officially a big rig. He's not supposed to be out there in Hellcat mixing it up with the enemy, where he's supposed to be going on in like a Grumman Avenger, you know, a command plane, so he can see everything, see what's going on, be protected, be safe, be the smart guy up in the tower telling the troops on the ground what to do. Okay, but that's not how Butch gets down. Okay, he officially puts in a request that they repaint his Hellcat so that he can be his command and control vehicle, and he's going to do everything from a Hellcat. And obviously, this is Butch O'Hare, the war hero of the fire race. He's going to get what he wants, and he does just that. Now with Butch O'Hare in charge of over 100 pilots with the Ulysses Enterprise, they go and provide air support to the Marine Corps, they make these landings in Tarawa and Baker. And with help from the Hellcats, they absolutely crush the Japanese at daytime combat so bad that the Japanese have to ditch the idea of it. After the Japanese realize they can no longer go toe-to-toe with the American aviators during daylight, they resort to using night tactics. Basically, the Japanese resort to sending torpedo bombers out in the dark of night, launching torpedoes and hoping they hit American ships. Now, it's not super effective because the torpedo bombers can't really aim. However, it's also effective in that the Americans also can't really send planes up to stop them because night fighting at this point in time isn't really a thing. You gotta realize this is 1983. Radars are still fairly new technology and they're mostly being used on ground arrays, and recently they're starting to use on big naval vessels. They can't cram one of these things inside a fighter plane. So at best, all the Americans can do is use radar on the ship to see the enemy is coming and then essentially brace for impact. They are not going to be able to scramble around fighters to go up without a radar because everything's relative out there, right? Even if the ship trying to tell the planes where the enemy was, like, is that my left or your left? Is that my guy or is that an enemy? They end up shooting one of themselves down with the enemy and the chaos. So that's really all the Americans can do is just hope they miss. That was until Butch came up with a plan. What if we took the Avenger, it's a big plane, we crammed the radar into that, and then sent the Avenger up with a bunch of Hellcats, and then as long as we can stay in formation, we would be able to tell the information to ourselves where the enemy was. The Avenger would be like the enemy's to the left, the enemy's to the right, and everybody has the same left, the same right. The Avenger could guide it. Now, obviously, the entire thing evolves into a giant dogfight and a huge issue, but we should be able to ambush them under the cover of night and stay in formation and hopefully not lose it. And we don't need to go chasing kills, we just need to prevent them from launching torpedoes at the ship. We just need to either shoot them down while maintaining our formation, or we just need to scare them off. So Butch gets permission from the chain of command, they show a radar inside of the Roman Avenger, and now he starts developing night fighting tactics, and his group becomes known as the Black Panthers. So November 1943, they go up with their first night mission intending to intercept Japanese bombers. They were unable to find the Japanese bombers at night. However, they didn't get to shoot off their torpedoes, and they got all the planes back on the carrier under the cover of night. So it was deemed a pretty big success. Then November 27, 1943, they go up with their second night mission. There's 2 Avengers and 4 Hellcats divided into 2 different groups, and they're going to go up there and stop the Japanese bombers. By the time all the American planes get up in there, the Japanese bombers are so close that the Avengers are having trouble differentiating the radar signatures between the Japanese bombers and the American Hellcats. And before Butch and his remaining can actually find their Avenger and get into formation, Butch's Avenger actually runs into the Japanese bombers first and opens fire. Even though it's not a fighter, it does have some guns, but it's not a lot. Regardless, they're able to shoot down one of the Japanese bombers. And then Butch's runs into another Japanese bomber before finding Butch in the command and shoots that one down. At this point, it's chaos. There's multiple planes in the air, American and Japanese, and they're in close proximity and they don't know who is who. So Butch instructs his wingman and the Avenger to both turn on their cabin lights at the same time so all 3 of them can see each other for a brief moment and be able to get into formation. So they turn the cab lights on for a brief second, they all see each other, and then they turn it back off for everything. At this point, the crew of the Avenger spots a Japanese bomber above Butch not only saved lives through his direct actions in combat, but through his expert training in the next generation of animal handlers. Two, and his help developing groundbreaking techniques like the patch weave and carrier baseball. In conclusion, this is why the airport in Chicago is known as O'Hare International. It's named after a famous man named Edward O'Hare. And no, not the famous mafia lawyer that had ties to Al Capone's famous assassin, but rather his son, the man who overcame the sin of his father and his brother. Thank you for watching. This is Quick Channel West Fellows. Quack, man.
Tell us about what happened in the Pacific on February afternoon. We were out there and ran into a bunch of Jap bombers. I think we did pretty good with it. You're thinking of yourself, Rick? Well, you don't have much time to think about yourself. Main thing you worry about is whether you stop them before they get to your ship, because if you don't, fly.
I want to know, have you made this mistake with your holster? And by mistake, I mean, did you get a holster that's uncomfortable so you don't carry all the time? You may have. And even if you have, you probably want a holster that's more comfortable. Enter the Vanish holster, the world's most comfortable holster. And guess what? Today, it's buy one, get one free on these. That's right. We're not going to run this special forever, but if you grab one right,
99, 100. Oh, you're killing me. Eat that ammonia.
How long can a goldfish survive without food? Theoretically, they could go over 3 months without a single bite of food and still survive. A lot of goldfish do this every single year during the wintertime. Because fish are cold-blooded, their basal metabolic rate is determined by the temperature of the water. So if the water temperature is near freezing, their calorie expenditure is going to be near zero, which means they can survive off not eating at all for a long time. However, the temperature is 70 or 80 degrees, their metabolic rate is going to be a lot higher, so they can only survive maybe 2 or 3 weeks without food. And just like in humans, the fatter you are, the longer you can fat. Where do I put a goldfish when it dies? Well, I'll be honest with you guys. I've only had one proper goldfish funeral and burial, and that was for my beloved goldfish Nug. He was the first ranger goldfish I ever bought, the first rancher I ever bred, and he was a big reason why I got into this hobby. He died back in 2019, and after he died, I invited all my high school friends to his funeral. I mean,
I was just feeling sick. And it was the worst thing. Longest living goldfish on record was 43 years old. Chances are, your goldfish didn't even live a quarter that long.
2 weeks,
In fact,
2 days.
most goldfish don't survive past their 5th birthday. And that's a major problem, since they're supposed to live for about as long as your cat. So, why are goldfish dying so young? The usual culprit behind your goldfish's untimely demise is, well, poop. You see, goldfish waste contains toxins like ammonia that can burn gills and even damage the brain. In the wild, this isn't a problem. Freshwater lakes and ponds are home to armies of bacteria that break it down into less harmful chemicals. But in your home tank, there's no bacteria to be found. You have to introduce it. And that's where a lot of goldfish owners slip up. Because you can't just buy a fish the same day you get your tank. The process of growing bacteria takes patience. First, you'll need to remove chlorine from your tank water using a conditioner. Chlorinated tap water is fine for you to drink since it kills all germs. But it's not so great for the bacteria you want to cultivate. Once you've created a safe space for the bacteria to grow, they'll come from all over. The air, the outside of the tank, and any rocks or plants you stick in the tank for decoration. You can also buy commercially sold bacteria cultures grown in labs. After that, all they need is dinner. Fish food will do. As the food breaks down, it releases ammonia for the bacteria to eat. And finally, you wait. For a while. Depending on how much bacteria you start with, the process can take about 2 months. That's right, 2 months. But then there should be enough bacteria. You can double check with a simple water test kit. But here's the thing. All the bacteria in the world won't keep your fish alive if the tank is too small. You see, as these bacteria gobble up goldfish poop, they produce some waste of their own. And if it's not sufficiently diluted, it can kill your goldfish. A dinky single-gallon bowl is much too small. And even the 10-gallon tank you see in every pet store won't cut it. A single adult goldfish needs at least twice that much water to thrive. That's almost 40 kilograms of water, 2,000 times heavier than your goldfish. And even with a huge tank, you'll still need to replace about 30% of the water every 2 weeks. Because besides poop, goldfish release hormones and pheromones into their environment, which if left unchecked, can stop their growth. That might help explain why goldfish in healthy environments can reach the size of an American football, while your last goldfish wasn't much bigger than an index finger. Once you have a big detoxified tank, Goldie just needs one more thing, your attention. Because you're not swimming in the tank with her, it's hard to notice if something's wrong with, say, water quality. So oftentimes, new goldfish owners don't realize anything's amiss until it's too late. And common diseases like fin rot, white spot disease, and fungal infections can already hide. So it's a good idea to pay careful attention to how the water looks and smells. And anyway, spending time with your goldfish will be worth it, since you can teach Goldie to swim through hoops and eat from your hand.
I hear about it touches my skin.
It's right, she's all free clear.
It's free of dyes and perfumes and is safe and choice certified.
For a clean you can feel good about, all you need is all for her.
From bizarre to wow, it'll surely raise an eyebrow. From regal beginnings to a humble presence, the goldfish has claimed the hearts of many pet lovers around the world. Planet Earth holds about 7.9 billion people. Among the massive number of humans, there are 480 million goldfish sold every year. Are you scratching your head as you ponder this factoid? Let's get our feet wet as we dive further into some amazing facts about our little gold friends. But before we do, be sure to subscribe to our channel. Also, click that like button, as it would really mean a lot to us. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss out on any of my videos. Okay, so let's get into these facts. Number 1, goldfish varieties. There are over 300 varieties of goldfish. And I bet you didn't know that. There are specific things that set each variety of goldfish apart from the others, such as color, fins, tail, eyes, body shape, head hoods. That's the growth on the head of certain goldfish. Number 2, commonality. Goldfish are one of the 4 most common household pets in the world. The first being dogs, then cats, goldfish, and birds. Number 3, how old? The age of a goldfish is evident by the number of rings on its scales. For every year of a goldfish life, there will be a ring on the scales. But wait, don't run over to your fish tank and start squinting to see those rings, because you will need a microscope to see them. Number 4, albinism. Albino goldfish are rare, making them a coveted variety. Some goldfish are born albino, with white bodies and red or pink eyes. And remember that a true albino must have both of these traits. Number 5, tongue. Goldfish use a stationary bump located on the floor of their mouth in place of a tongue. As humans, we rely on our tongues when eating. However, goldfish depend on a bony structure called the base hyoid to move food around in their mouth. Number 6, eyelids. The eyes of a goldfish never close, and it's because they do not have eyelids. If you ever wondered why your goldfish never blinks, now you know. Their eyes are always open, even when they're asleep. Number 7, hearing. We can hear you. Goldfish do not have external ears as we do, but they can't hear you. Goldfish hear vibrations through otoliths that are internal. People tapping on the tank glass trying to get the attention of their fish don't realize that the vibrations are not only loud, but disturbing. It causes stress to the fish, which can lead to disease or even death. So be kind, don't tap. Number 8, goldfish bowls. Bowl is a big no-no. Goldfish bowls kill goldfish. Goldfish bowls are marketed all over the world as the ideal home for your goldfish. This is so far from the truth. Goldfish have requirements to thrive. The common goldfish grows up to 6 inches, whereas the fancy goldfish can reach over 9 inches in size. Goldfish require a minimum of 10 gallons per goldfish, though I personally like to do 20 gallons per goldfish. They also need a tank with a large surface area for oxygenation and for the release of ammonia. And don't forget, a proper filtration system. Number 9, sight of colors. Goldfish see more colors of light than we do. Our goldfish live in a much more colorful world because they see UV light that is invisible to the human eye. Humans can see what's called visual spectrum of light. We perceive this light as white. Goldfish see UV spectrum and visual spectrum lights. These spectrums are blues, greens, and yellows. Number 10, uniqueness. There are no 2 goldfish alike. Every goldfish is unique and individual with coloring and pattern. The beautiful thing about individualism that separates every human being apart from another is the same for goldfish. You can bet your bottom dollar that there's not another goldfish in the world that is precisely the same as yours. Number 11, memory. The myth that goldfish can't remember anything is false.
What's up, dogs? Today I'm trying to get shipped at an animal shelter here with Hill's Pet Nutrition. Today I'm going to see what it really takes to get these amazing animals adopted. Plus, I have an extra special gift for the amazing hardworking team here. Hill's Pet Nutrition has been helping vets
funded over $300 million worth of food, helping 15 million shelter pets find new homes. And that's only possible because when you feed your pet Hills, you help us feed shelter pets nationwide. What role do you think Hills plays in this shelter? Hills plays a huge role. It provides food for every dog and cat on site. Good job, Bogart. He is really perfect, aren't you, River? You're so perfect. I got to hang out with a lot of new dogs today, but I noticed there were a lot of large dogs. So I did some digging, and I found out that large dogs are staying in shelters twice as long since 2019. Why do you think large dogs are the perfect fit? I think it's because their personality is just as big as them, and so it shines through while they're in the shelter, or gets that people that bond that they're looking for, and it gets them. Now, I think it's time we do some grooming. How do you think Hills and nutrition has helped Rose Home? It's helped a lot. Her fur was kind of passive and watching, but with the new diet, it's helped her regrow her coat and gives her more energy and life. I can tell she honestly looks amazing. It's not just her that it benefits, all the other animals experience the same thing. So multiple animals will benefit from a healthy Hills diet. You're doing so good. Watching these workers care for these pets has been so inspiring. Let's go give them a little surprise. Come on in, guys. So we wanted to surprise you with all these resources and all this food. We would love to donate 2,000 pounds of food, which will feed 6,300 pets here at the shelter. Thank you so much. It's going to help us a lot. It looks like Crow's already enjoying some of the food. Oh, Crow. Today, I tried a shift in an animal shelter. Honestly, it was one of the best experiences. Now it's your turn to help shelter pets find new homes. Learn how you can help today.
So lightly, it highlights the skin, soaks right in, which means for right fiber from the liquid to run right on. This moisturizer will have your back and way both out with some fiber and on your
They have good memories. Goldfish are thought to have a micro memory in that they can remember anything past a few seconds. Not only do they remember things, but they also can use their memory to recall their owner's face and when it's time to eat. They also retain instruction in training them to do tricks. Next time you forget to feed your fish or fail to give them attention, you may find them peering through their tank window to tell you, hey, you forgot about me. Number 12. Color. The skin, not the scales, on a goldfish depicts what color the fish is. The characteristic orange color that you see in a goldfish does not come from orange scales. In fact, the variety of colors and patterns on all goldfish come from their skin. The scales are transparent and act as a protective barrier on the fish. There are, however, different types of scales which attribute to how the skin's color and pattern are projected. Examples include matte, which is dull and flat, metallic, which is shiny, and nacreous, a combination of matte and metallic. Number 13, lips and taste buds. Did you know goldfish have lips? Those lips have sensors, similar to our taste buds, that cover the opening of the mouth. If you feed your fish something and they spit it out, you can rest assured they didn't like the taste. Number 14, smell. The nose knows. Goldfish may not have a nose as we do. However, they have small openings just above their mouth that smells. The nares of a goldfish are small openings that allow a goldfish to detect odors, both good and bad, when searching for food. Number 15, lot of poop. Goldfish are heavy waste producers. When caring for goldfish, it's crucial to keep their water clean. Ammonia is a result of fish waste, and if not kept in check, can kill your fish. Number 16, pregnancy. Many will refer to a goldfish as being pregnant. There is no such thing. To be considered pregnant, the mother has to be carrying live young. Goldfish do not carry live fry. They lay eggs that are then fertilized by a male. The fry hatch from those eggs. Remember the next time that if you think a goldfish is expecting, she isn't. She is nothing more than a vehicle delivering the eggs. Number 17. Goes in fast, comes out fast. When a goldfish eats, it exits the other end almost instantly. This is because they have no stomach. You are probably wondering how a goldfish thrives if they expel food as quickly as they ate it. They do not have stomachs, so when food enters their mouth, it enters into the intestine. Nutrients are extracted very quickly while in the intestine, and then the food is expelled rapidly. Can you imagine if humans had a digestive system like this? This would be one heck of a way to stay skinny. Number 18, regeneration. When a scale falls off or a fin is frayed, the goldfish can regrow them if they are healthy and they have the right water parameters. Sometimes the swift swimming that goldfish do across a tank can end up with them scraping up against something. They can tear a fin or damage scales. When this happens, they can regrow them provided they are healthy, as well as their water environment is in great condition. Number 19, little carps. Did you know that goldfish are small carps? Goldfish are descendants of the Prussian carp. Through selective breeding over thousands of years, they have evolved into much smaller fish with distinct colors, patterns, and shapes. Number 20, sonar. Goldfish have similar features like a submarine. Submarines rely on sonar to detect the presence of things in the water and to aid in direction. Goldfish have the same ability from a sensory organ called a lateral line. These are located on each side of their body. They can sense movement, vibrations, current, and change in pressure in the water. The lateral line also helps them balance as they swim. Number 21, love of music. Goldfish love music, but have a preference of genre. Goldfish delight in the right kind of music. Music produces vibrations which are intensified in the tank water. This is why you should never place your fish tank near speakers or your TV. Classical music has been known to help goldfish be more conducive to being trained. Music such as rock, hip-hop, and rap contain more profound levels of bass that resonates in the tank water so much that it causes your fish stress. This stress can lead to disease and sometimes death. Number 22, talented. You can teach a goldfish to do tricks. Goldfish can be taught to swim through hoops, roll a tiny soccer ball into the net, swim in specific directions, and more. Using food as a reward, you can lead them to do a lot of things with some patience. If you are
The longest living goldfish on record was
How to identify a ranchu goldfish. There are many goldfish species. However, you cannot fail to identify a ranchu goldfish at first sight. This species lacks dorsal fin and has metallic scales. The ranchu goldfish also has an arched back with a wen that covers most, if not all, of its head, but not the eyes. This species comes in different colors. Most common ranchu goldfish are either red or red and white. Most ranchu goldfish are multicolored. Because of their rarity, it isn't easy to find a ranchu in your local pet store. They are easily confused with the lionhead because of their big head and egg-shaped body. You can differentiate the two by carefully examining the tail. The ranchu goldfish will have a deep tail tuft. Japanese ranchu also have a long back and more curved profile than the Chinese lionhead. How to care for a ranchu goldfish. These adorable goldfish are not difficult to care for. However, note that ranchu goldfish can grow large, up to 8 inches, so an adequate tank size is a must. The ranchu also have a longer
Hey, if you conceal carry, then you're probably going to want this right here.
lionhead. So I thought this was a good topic to talk about because I have been confused about ranchu lionhead for the longest time. So I just want to show you guys some clips that I took from a local fish store and also discuss some of the standards. So this is a standard drawing.
If something goes wrong with your tank or anything happens, fucking white ones go belly out. They're the first to die. Anything happens, those organs fucked up on your tank. They're so unhardy. They're not bred for hardiness in any way.
Picture of lionhead versus ranchu. If you can guess right, the top one will be lionhead and the bottom one will be ranchu. I bet you can tell some difference from the drawings, but I'm just gonna verbally explain it to you how they're different. Let's talk about similarities to begin. Hello guys, welcome to green water fish. We have prominent head growth or web growth at 3 area, and their cranial, cheek, and gill plate. And all 3 area has to be pretty well developed equally. One area should not predominate the other area. Now the striking difference between the 2 fish is their back profile. For lionhead, the back is pretty much straight all the way to closer to the tail, or what we call a caudal pedicle, which is the area that connects the body to the tail. The back is pretty much straight all the way towards the caudal pedicle, and then has a gentle slope downwards. However, for ranchu, the back is pretty dramatically going downwards towards the back, almost like an arch. And there's one thing that you need to look for when selecting lionhead or ranchu is because those fish are dorsaless fish, meaning that they don't have a dorsal fin. And when you look at the back, you want to make sure the back is as smooth as possible. You don't want to see even a little bit of divot or residual dorsal whatever on the back. Another difference between lionhead and ranchu is the tail. When you look at the angle between the back and the top side of the tail in the picture, for a lionhead, the angle, we call it obtuse angle, meaning the angle is greater than 90 degrees. But for ranchu, the desirable angle is 45 degrees. Fins, they have to be paired for both fish, and I'm talking about the grow fin, meaning the fin that's coming out of their chest, the ventral fin, meaning the fin that's coming out of their belly, and the anal fin, the fin that's near their butt, basically. And for their caudal fin, which is the fin that's the pretty part that everybody talks about, the spread of the caudal fin should be between 25 and 75 degrees. And when I'm talking about the degrees, I'm talking about from the most outside side of the caudal fin, we call it the shoulder. This is because when the spread is too small, the tail usually looks collapsed, or when the fin is too wide spread out, the fish might sink down. So basically, you just kind of gauge by the fish swimming motion and by eyeballing, basically, just to see if the fish is well balanced. And this is true for both lionhead and ranchu fish. So that's about it for lionhead fish. For ranchu fish, there's a couple more things that I need to talk about. So ranchu is a little bit quote-unquote complicated because people are just more into ranchu compared to lionhead, I suppose. And there are 2 views that people talk about. There's side view and top view. For side view, it's pretty much what I've told you so far. Especially pay attention to the tail, to the back angle. But for top view, there's a couple more things that we will need to consider. For top view ranchu, the fish has to look rectangular. And we're talking about especially the wen. The wen has to grow in a certain way that the head looks rectangular, as shown in this picture. And then second of all, the caudal pedicle, remember that I talked about earlier on? The pedicle has to look thick enough to adequately support the fish and the tail. Then you want to look at the shoulder. And then you want the shoulder to be spread out enough so that the fish look balanced. And lastly, which is the more technical part of the criteria, the bracelet that I brought to you in the picture, where the pedicle and the ideally should be only covered by 1 to 2 scales. And the center tail core should not penetrate the bracelet. And the caudal fin base, which you will be able to see once you flip the fish over, should be as large and as full as possible in order to support the fish. The ideal caudal fin base will cause the caudal fin to spread out like a flower, so it'll be really, really pretty. And then, based on the pattern of the coloration of the fish, there are many different names for different patterns. Tall in Japanese, you can certainly Google it online. I don't remember all of them, but if you're interested, just go ahead and Google it. So now you should be an expert in lion head and rancher now. Now that you look at this clip that I took from the local fish store, can you tell which is rancher, which is lion head? I can't. And I don't know how to label this fish as lion head and a prior fish as ranchu. You would say that, oh, this is so bad, and this is true, and that's exactly why people are confused about these two kind of fish. So now you should have a better idea of what they are. And last but not least, as my parting gift, I'm gonna play a game with you guys. I'm gonna show you some pictures. Can be lion head, can be ranchu, and you guess what they are. And I'm gonna tell you the answer at the end of each picture, okay? So I hope you enjoy the video, and I'll see you next time. Bye!
Goldfish look like this, and I realized that most of the goldfish that I have in my pond are common goldfish, but I was calling them common goldfish. I thought commies and comets were the same thing, but I was wrong. Common goldfish are long-bodied single-tailed goldfish with shorter fins and shorter tails. Common goldfish look like this, and they are long-bodied single-tailed goldfish with longer flowing fins and tails. Common goldfish, common-tailed goldfish, and pond comets are all different names for common goldfish, but they are all the same fish. If you hear the term Sarasa comet, that is the common goldfish with red and white coloration. Now let's move on to what a Shabunki goldfish is. Come with me. So if you're a subscriber of my channel, you know that I have a Shabunkin in my pond. Shabunkins have nacreous scales, also known as calico. They're a combination of metallic and matte, and it kind of gives them like a glittery, pearly effect. They have patches of red, white, blue, gray, and black. Iron color in a Shabunkin is the blue. The more blue a Shabunkin has, the more valuable it is. There's also 3 varieties of Shabunkins. There's the American Japanese variety, and those ones are the most similar to common goldfish. They have longer fins and longer tails. There's the London Shabunkin, and that's more similar to a common goldfish. It has a shorter tail and shorter fins, and it's a little thicker than the American Japanese Shabunkin. And then there's the Bristle Shabunkin, and this is the rarest out of the three, and it has longer fins and a longer tail, and the tail is rounded at the points. Let me know down in the comments below if you can identify what kind of Shabunkin I have. First bred in the US in the 1880s, and Shabunkin goldfish were first bred in Japan around 1900. Shabunkin goldfish can live up to 10 years in an aquarium and even up to 25 or 30 years in a pond, and they can grow between 9 and 18 inches. Common goldfish can live up to 5 years in an aquarium and up to 14 years in a pond. They can grow anywhere from between 4 inches and 12 inches or even more. Common goldfish can live up to 5 years in an aquarium and up to 10 years in a pond, and they can also grow from anywhere from
Who's coming in the driveway?
Hey guys, this is Ray from Goldfish Corner. Welcome back. And today, we're going to talk about another interesting topic, flying head and Orenda goldfish. Well, a few days ago, I posted a poll on different topics. Thank you for your vote. I finished the first one, how to create a green carpet algae. And today, we're going to talk about lionhead and Orenda. Goldfish has many confusing terms. Lionhead is one, sometimes heard as shizito, Orenda, ranchers. All those things actually motivated me to create this channel. My initial goal, get this YouTube channel, is really want to talk about those concepts. So why I didn't talk about lionhead in my first video? Because we have talked about Hey guys, this is Bochi. When water comes with carpet algae, I talk about the result and talk about maintenance, but I had to talk about how to create the green carpet algae. I got a lot of feedbacks on, hey man, could you please create an educational video on how to create green carpet algae? And I was so busy, I kind of indulged myself into the goldfish culture and goldfish history side, so I released a lot of videos. I didn't have time to pick up the green carpet algae until recently. I post on my Goldfish channel community, I posted a survey that said 8 weeks ago, the following topics, how to create green carpet algae is on top. I hear you. Now I'm generating my answers. Here's another thing, that's why you subscribe my channel and you have your chance to vote the future topics. All the links are also included in the video description. Please make sure you check it. Because this video is actually more on operation side. There's a lot of links about products, about the website, about the tips. Let's go ahead. So before we talk about how to create the green carpet algae, my style is always let's step back. Let's look at what are those common algae styles in your goldfish tank. To be honest with you, there is about 13 to 20 different types of algae in your goldfish tank, whether you see or not see. I'm not going to go through all of this algae type. I'm going to talk about probably 4 common algae styles in your tank. So the first one is very obvious, it's called clear water. People call it air tank because it just feels the goldfish swimming in the air if the water quality is so pure. There's no or less algae. It's really gorgeous. And what I call is beginner's dream tank. Why get into the goldfish keeping? I want my goldfish tank to look like pure water, very clean, crystal clear, just like this goldfish tank, which is beautiful, especially in the night. You turn off the ambient light and only keep the tank light. It's so beautiful. The water may or may not fully cycle. Just keep in mind, because there's no indicator as to the color of the smell. You could fully not fully cycle water. On the other hand, this is may not be optimal for your fish tank. Let's wait to listen about the other options, and you can make your choices. The second one is brown algae. The color is brown. It's also called diamonds or silica algae. It basically appears in newly set up tank. Within 1 or 3 weeks, your tank is gonna go from crystal clear to this brown coating color everywhere. Honestly, this is no harm to your goldfish, but it looks dirty. So many folks do not prefer brown algae style tank. But I want to share some interesting fact. Brown algae generates about 20 to 50% of oxygen on the earth. It also created about half of organic material in the ocean. So brown algae is actually contributing a lot without you knowing it. The third one, what I call it green water. Green water is not a particular name of algae, it's just a style. A lot of tiny, free-floating single cell and just circling around water. The water is purely green. It's typically used in goldfish farms. As you can see on this video, which I cropped from documentary, is that the goldfish farms is actually stabilizing water quality, and the green water has a lot of nutrition. If you look at my channel, and when I breed goldfish fries, I intentionally keep them in the green water to keep the color and keep the water quality, and also help to keep the fish grow fast. Obviously, it's not good for indoor fish tank. I guess you have the same feeling as mine. If you look at this picture, you don't see any fish. Everything is green. So green water fit for goldfish farms, but not fit for your indoor fish tank. Because if you have it, you're not going to see your fish. So the last one is actually today's superstar. The number 4 style, I call it green carpet algae. Not just a nickname. So more formal name, also known as hair algae. Just like shown on this picture, you can almost see the grassland type of carpet algae on the bottom of the tank. It's so beautiful. It is best for indoor tank, particularly for the bare bottom. Obviously, you're not going to have sandy bottom. It's the bare bottom. The green carpet algae is going to fit perfectly. All the fish are so happy, so vibrant, and very colorful. And you can see the algae actually not only gives a better view, but also provide a lot of nutrition to these fish. It's also stabilize the water quality and also provide the clear view. So green carpet algae plus clear water give the best option, in my opinion, to your indoor fish tank. This kind of view, when you see green carpet algae, if you don't see it, you're fine. You're like, I want to have a clear water tank. But if you see it, you want it. Alright, so if you do want to create your own green carpet algae, please come with me. We're going to go through every single steps, actually from the theory, procedure, and also I'll share you one of the results. Please listen carefully, make sure you understand everything, and then you don't have to ask me another question in the future because you understand everything. All of this kind of knowledge, or the tips, you're not going to see any textbook. At least I don't find any of those knowledge from the goldfish keeping textbook. I actually collect this from my personal experience, my friends' experience, and also some limited knowledge from online resources. So make sure you don't skip any of these. It's going to be extremely helpful, and you're going to make your dream come true to create your own green carpet algae. Alright, let's go with me. I like to talk about theory. I want to talk about the theory, and then you can talk about operation. The first thing, let's talk about what is the condition to create brown algae. It's typically those 4 conditions: low light, silicate, ammonia, and nitrate. So if you look at green water, what's the conditions for creating green water? The ammonia, nitrate, also carbon dioxide, and phosphate. So let's see what is the theory of the algae transition. So if you want to transition from brown algae to green water, you need to switch your low light to strong light. Natural sunlight is the best resource. If you don't have natural sunlight, you need LED, not just normal LED, you need a full spectrum LED. The last one is you have to remove silicate. Many of my friends ask me, hey, I fight so hard on brown algae, I'm not able to convert from brown algae to green water. And one of the reasons because you remove silicate. Please make sure you do a water test with your tap water. In many areas in the US, some areas tends to have more percentage of silicate than tap water, so make sure you test it, then remove it. Okay, so that's the green water condition. Last one, let's look at what is the condition can generate recurrent algae. It obviously has condition of strong light and some of those components. So what about the transition from the green water to green carbon? The first one, you also need to maintain the strong light and remove silicate. In terms of the ammonium and the nitrate, you need to use a strong filtration or increase your biofiltration to reduce ammonium and nitrate. For the last two, carbon dioxide and phosphate, you also need to reduce those two. So how to reduce those two components? Aeration, add aerosols into water, for bubbles, also reduce number of fish. Many times those, obviously in the higher carbon dioxide, you have too many fish in the tank. And also do more frequent water change. Okay, let's check this picture again. So this is what I call a theory of algae management. If you know this picture, you can control whatever the algae you want to keep in your tank. And the other thing is it shows the transition. So the green carbon algae will not appear immediately in your newly set up tank. It's going to go through this procedure. You're going to first have a sort of brown algae, and then brown algae, by certain conditions that you apply, the brown algae is going to become a green water. And then from green water, you apply certain conditions, you're going to get a green carbon algae. Green water is the key. If you don't have green water, you're not going to have green carbon algae. Let me explain this. If you only have strong light, no silicate, very low level ammonium, nitrate, or very low level carbon dioxide or phosphate, you're still not able to create green carbon algae. Why? You are missing the seeds of algae, of algae seed. So all the algae seed came from the green water. So green water has a lot of seeds, and then you just kill some of the seeds that you don't like as a green water, and you're going to leave the algae seed as green carbon algae. Remember, write down this sentence. Green water is the key transition component to green carbon algae. If you're not able to generate green water, no green carbon algae will come on. Alright, I know this is a little bit chemical stuff. Now let's go to the next page, which is the more practical in terms of daily operation. So what we need, let's give a summary, and you probably can already get your list from those algae management theory. So first, you need more than 8 hours of strong sunlight. However, if your tank is not facing the south of your house, or if you have a problem getting sunlight, you can always using the full spectrum of LED light. Check the links in my video description. I'm going to list a few Amazon links with the product that I'm using in my tank that produce a good result. The second one is aeration or filtration. So aeration, you need to get air bubbles. The why we need aeration, because you need to reduce the CO2 level. The filtration, you also need a powerful filtration, is to reduce your nitrate and also reduce the ammonium level. The sump filter is the best. If you don't have sump filter, on the top of the trickle box filter is also a good option. The third one is UV sterilite. There are many of UV sterilites. You can go any of the brand. A lot of my friends are gonna ask me, hey, is UV sterilite gonna kill my healthy bacteria? Is UV light gonna kill the algae, the carbon algae? The answer is no, because the UV light is encapsulated within the chamber of the black housing. So the water basically gonna keep through the back of the inlet and come through the UV sterilite and come out of the UV sterilite. So the UV gland is not going to contaminate outside water. It's only going to sterilize the water came through the chamber. So this is a very good option. The last one is fish waste. I'm not going to ask you to collect the fish waste, dump into the tank. Simply you can do is put some fish. So if you have fancy goldfish, do not use your fancy goldfish as an experimental material, but you get some common fish or some cheap goldfish, put in your tank. Okay, the other thing is your expectation. This is not one-time deal. You're probably going to need some iterations. I'm going to tell you you're going to fail. You're probably going to fail more than once, but eventually you'll make it if you follow my instruction. Be prepared, iteration. Obviously, the last one is patience. It takes time. It's not like if you follow my setup, next day your tank will become one carbon algae. It's anywhere from 1 week to 1 month, but eventually you will get it. Now you understand the theory of algae management. You understand what you need to create a green carbon algae. Let's look at this.
If you have diabetic macular edema, you never want to lose sight of the things you love.
I hope this flowchart will not blow up your mind. As an engineer, I want to put everything on paper with a flowchart, so I'm going to put
What's up, guys? Welcome back to Fancy Goldfish Fanatics. Today I'm going to be talking all about algae carpets, so make sure you stay tuned to find out more. As always, they use thick, green, luminous algae carpet, and it seems really, really tricky, and I have struggled so much with it in the past. But today, hopefully I'm going to give you a few tips and tricks on what to look for, how to accomplish it, and just how to really go about trying to get your algae carpet started. Now, as we know, algae is super easy to grow, but when we want a specific type, it is such a nightmare, unfortunately. Now, a lot of you will probably have a brown algae on your tank, and you'll constantly be having to wipe it away. Now, this is diatoms, and diatoms normally come about where there's high levels of phosphate and silicates in the water. You may notice if you add a new batch of sand to your tank, or you're freshly starting up your aquarium, the first algae you get is brown diatoms. Now, these look unsightly, they're not very nice, they come off really easily, they're a rusty colour, but we unfortunately don't want this kind of algae. And this will inhibit that green, luscious algae growth that we strive for. So, to get that green algae, I found that you need to have really good lighting and intense lighting. Now, the best way to do this is using T5 or T8 tubes, which are those fluorescent bulbs. They give a really good spectrum if you're using like a daylight spectrum. That's really what I found to be best. LEDs can work, but they're not as good as those T5 bulbs, which give that broad daylight spectrum across your tank. Alternatively, even better is natural sunlight. Now, natural sunlight really helps that green algae grow, and once you've got it started, you can sort of maintain it and help it grow throughout your tank. Now, I'm going to show you a few clips of my tank. It was brown before, but we've got that green carpet growing on it, and the way I did this was I had the fish outside over summer, which most of you should know, and I had some dual filters within the tank. Well, the dual filters started to get this green algae growth from all that natural sunlight, and when I transported that filter into here, that green algae spread across onto the back glass, and then it went from there really. Once you've got a little bit of green algae, it's quite easy to help it spread and make it spread all over the tank, and you can wipe off those diatoms and let that green algae slowly grow. Now, it does take quite a long time, and it will take quite a long time to get a really thick coat of that green algae, but it is worth it in the end. Now, I'll just show you the clips of my tank, and you can see the green algae starting to grow across the back. As you can see, it moves in the flow, and it's got that quite luminous green effect. You can see on the sides of the tank, where the filters originally were, and now that green algae is slowly starting to grow across it. The benefits of this are the fish can just graze on that algae all day, which gives them more of a natural varied diet, and it's really good for their digestive systems. And overall it looks quite nice, and as it grows and fills out that whole black back panel, hopefully it will start to fill out the bottom as well, and then we'll really get that luscious growth all over. So really my tips are to get a natural sunlight or a really high wattage broad spectrum daylight T5 bulb over the tank. You want to make sure you've got low silicates and low phosphates in the water, really just doing regular water changes. You can use silicate removers to help keep those diatoms down. I believe JBL does Silicate X, it's called, that helps remove the silicates from the water, and you will often find these diatoms in new setups. There's absolutely nothing wrong with diatoms, but they don't look too good. So I recommend that good spectrum, daylight spectrum. That is really the main thing to get that algae growing. Alternatively, if you've got a friend or someone you know with some of that green algae and they've got it on maybe a rock, a piece of wood, or even a filter, if you can introduce that into your tank and let that algae start to spread onto the walls and then remove it, then you're good to go, and hopefully that algae will spread along, because it is really difficult to kill algae once it's started to grow, as I'm sure a lot of you know. So that was a quite short video. I hope it's been helpful, giving you guys a bit of insight into how I think you should grow the green carpet algae. There is no real exact science to it, and whatever anyone tells you, it is really just natural sunlight, and that's it really. So thank you all for watching. In the next video, I'm finally going to be revealing a little bit of that huge update we've got going, and I'm actually going to be moving the fish tank and the fish. So that's probably going to be quite a long video, and it's going to be quite interesting because I'm going to show you how I move fish, how I will transport them, and also what they're going to be going into and where they're going to be going to. And then after that, hopefully we can reveal the rest of the big update, because I really think it's going to be a huge turning point for the channel. So thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Remember to keep those voice changes up, and happy fish keeping.
What's up, dogs? Today I'm trying a shift at an animal shelter here with Hills Pet Nutrition. Today I'm going to see what it really takes to get these amazing animals adopted. Plus, I have an extra special gift for the amazing hardworking team here. Hills Pet Nutrition has been helping pets get adopted since 2002, and they provided over $300 million worth of food, helping 15 million shelter pets find new homes. And that's only possible because when you feed your pet Hills, you help us feed shelter pets nationwide. What role do you think Hills plays in this shelter? Hills plays a huge role. It provides food for every dog in Canada site. Good job, Bogart. It is really perfect, aren't you? You're so perfect. I got to hang out with a lot of new dogs today, but I noticed there were a lot of large dogs. So I did some digging, and I found out that large dogs are staying in shelters twice as long since 2019. Why do you think large dogs are the perfect pet? I think it's because their personality is just as big as them, and so it shines through while they're in the shelter, where it gets that people that bond that they're looking for, and it gets it. Now, I think it's time we do some grooming.
I think they built chemistry as so. It's not so much of her kind of method in watching, but with the new diet, it's helped her regrow her coat and gives her more energy and life.
I can tell she honestly looks amazing.
It's not just her that it benefits, all the other animals experience the same thing. But multiple animals will benefit from a healthy Hills diet.
You're doing so good. Watching these workers care for these pets has been so inspiring. Let's go give them a little surprise. Come on in, guys. So we wanted to surprise you with food, we would love to donate 2,000 pounds of food, which will feed 6,300 pets here at the shelter. Wow, thank you so much. It's going to help us a lot. It looks like Crow's already enjoying some of the food, huh, Crow? Today, I trained a shift at an animal shelter. And honestly, it was one of the best experiences. Now it's your turn to help shelter pets find new homes. Learn how you can help today. What is going on, guys? Welcome back to Blue Schools. In this video, I'm going to explain how to start your first beginner goldfish tank. Okay, now that you press the like button and press the subscribe button, I'm going to tell you how I think any beginner should start their first goldfish tank. So the first thing you're going to need is a tank. You're going to need a tank. My recommendation for solid, not overly big, not too small a tank, is a 40-gallon tank. If you get a 40-gallon tank and you have two goldfish in that tank, in the long term you're going to find you only really need to do 1 or 2 feet out once a week. You could go a little bit smaller. You're going to do 1 or 2 feet a little bit harder. You could go bigger. I recommend if you can go bigger, but a lot of people can afford a large tank or have space for that. The next thing you're going to need for your goldfish tank is filtration. Now, goldfish tanks especially need a lot of filtration because goldfish are massive waste producers. As cute as chicken soup looks, it moves a ton. Main classes of filters are sponge filters, canister filters, hang-on-back filters, and then also some submersible filters. The ones I recommend for someone on a budget is sponge filters. Sponge filters are definitely the cheapest option, and they're also very simple. You just need to buy an air pump, and you're going to need to buy some sponge filters that connect to the air pump and filter out the water. For a 40-gallon tank with 2 goldfish, honestly getting a 4-outlet air pump with the sponge filters connected at all 4 outlets, you're going to have a pretty decent size filtration. It's going to be more than you need, and you always want to shoot for over filter. If you want to go for a canister filter, you could probably get a whale. I believe that canister filter moves around 340 gallons per hour, which is pretty decent for a 40-gallon size goldfish tank with 2 goldfish. Or you can get a hang-on-back filter. I have right now on my tank an Emperor hang-on-back filter, and they're pretty decent. They do the job, but I do notice they tend to make a lot of noise. When a lot of them start to fall, oxygen bubbles get stuck in the intake tube, you'll hear a little and they are really starting to annoy me. So honestly, canister filters and sponge filters, those will probably, either one of those will do it. The next thing you're going to need is some Luke's Goldfish merch. There's like a crazy phenomenon going on, like if you don't wear Luke's Goldfish merch when you buy goldfish, they'll die. Now, how are you for goldfish? You gotta represent it. You gotta be proud of it. Go check out our merch. Okay, so after you buy your tank, your filter, you're now going to need some aquarium products. The one absolutely necessary aquarium product you're going to need is a water conditioner. The water conditioner I use right now is Fridge Complete, and this is a pretty decent one because it doesn't only condition the water, it takes care of chlorines and chlorines, but it also will detoxify ammonia and nitrite, which is something you're likely going to have a problem with, especially when you're first starting a tank. I also recommend getting a beneficial bacteria that you can add into the water to really help get that tank cycled up. Right now, the beneficial bacteria I use is Fridge Turbo Start. This stuff smells like the worst crap you've ever smelled. But that means it's full of that beneficial bacteria that's going to get your tank cycled. The next thing you're going to need is a water treatment kit. Right now, I use an API fresh water treatment kit. That thing basically measures ammonia, measures nitrite, measures nitrate, also measures pH levels. And that's definitely something you're going to want to track, especially when you're first starting a tank. Now, there are probably one product you will eventually need, but to really get started, the basic things you need are that testing kit, that water conditioner, and that beneficial bacteria. One aquarium product that's not required, but I highly recommend getting, is a Python water changer. This is going to make it so easy to do water changes, but there's something you're going to have to do very often. So once you have your Python water changer, your tank, your filter, your aquarium products, you're then basically going to fill your tank up with water, with the Python water changer. Then you're going to add some of that water conditioner, get that water nice and conditioned. You're going to add your filtration system on there, whether that's your air pump, your air filter, or your canister filter, and then you're going to add your beneficial bacteria to the system with the filters running to seed the bacteria to the filters to get it ready to move a massive bio load. You're going to get to the goldfish. After you add the beneficial bacteria, you're also going to have to add some sort of clean matter or
water. Now, the full process of egg cycling is a little more complicated. I highly recommend reading up on it. In short, you're going to be adding in the ammonia in some form into the tank, testing the water to see the ammonia spike, and then watching it slowly convert to nitrites, and the ammonia levels go down, and then watching that nitrites go to nitrates, and then continually adding more ammonia to watch the quick conversion from ammonia to nitrate. You want to make sure that you basically have zero ammonia at all times in the tank, because this will in turn that'll create a safe environment for your fish. You're just constantly producing ammonia, but can't live in really any concentration of it. Okay, so now you start the cycling process for your tank. Other things you can get during this probably before you expand, you can add in additional beneficial bacteria, is you can go out and buy a water heater. I definitely recommend getting a water heater for your goldfish. I like to keep my tanks of goldfish around 17 degrees, sometimes keep them lower around 75 degrees, but they tend to get kind of seasonal weather problems when temperatures drop down too low, so I like to keep them at an elevated temperature. It's not absolutely necessary, but I do highly recommend it to avoid some water problems. Also during this time, you can go and buy some things that you might need. Some of the medications I use very often are one, aquarium salt. I don't even really consider that a medication, but I do use it anytime I notice something could possibly go up with my fish, externally. I highly recommend that you aquarium salt in your medicine cabinet for your fish. Also, I highly recommend that blue methane blue is very good for many different instances of your fish. It's great as a bath or hospital tank treatment if your fish ever get sick.
I won't let my active psoriatic arthritis joint symptoms define me. Emerge as you. Tremfya is proven to significantly reduce joint pain, stiffness, and swelling. Some patients even felt less fatigued.
Serious allergic reactions may occur. Tremfya may increase your risk of infections and lower your ability to fight. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms, or if you had a vaccine or plan to.
Emerge as you. Emerge Tremfyant. Ask your doctor about Tremfya.
There are a ton of other medications out there you're going to need. I would honestly recommend wait till you need a specific kind of medication and go and buy that medication, because there's going to be so many different possible problems you can have with your fish. It's not worth going and buying everything ahead of time. Wait until you go to something and go and buy that. You're going to spend tons of money on meds if you try to preemptively buy everything you need. I actually recommend to not add substrate in until after you get the goldfish, because if you get a goldfish and they really rise with some worms, it's a lot easier to keep the bottom of the tank nice and clean. You have no substrate in there, you're going to have to clean the worms off the bottom of the tank. It's easier to kind of have the tank keep a nice bare bottom and then add in a substrate there. I actually believe I'm dealing with a worm problem right now, so I actually had to remove all the sand from the bottom of my tanks. Now you don't need to add a sand or substrate to your tank, but I do think it does kind of provide a nice area for the fish to kind of sit through and kind of like, look through the entire day to give them something to do. And I also think that it does kind of hold a lot of beneficial bacteria. It makes the cycle of the tank a little more stable. You don't have to have a substrate, but now also in terms of decor, again, I don't think you need decor. In a lot of instances, I actually don't recommend a lot of decor because it's very easy for the fish to bump into it and stuck with it, especially these fancy goldfish that are really clumsy and they're really dumb. Most of them are dumb. You find a lot of ways to get stuck and hurt with decor. If you're going to have decor in your tanks, it can be very smooth, little stones or nice little wavy plants. I, for the most part, don't have any decor plants in my tank because I just tend to have a lot of problems. I might try other plants in the future, but I just never had success with it. Okay, so now it's finally time for you to buy your goldfish. So the goldfish that I don't breed myself, I get from Goldfish Island. And full disclosure here, I am a brand affiliate of Goldfish Island. So when you guys click on my affiliate link I have in my description, or use my discount code LOOP, I do get a % share of that sale. So thank you. You can do that. But honestly, I do highly recommend the fish. I've got a lot of fish that they always arrive nice and quality. I've never had a dead one on arrival. I would definitely recommend checking them out. And as I said, you can get 5% off your order total if you use that discount code LOOP. So after you get your goldfish, you release them into your tank, you acclimate them properly. I would recommend prophylactic treatments to deworm them and get rid of parasites. There's a very high probability that comes with some degree of parasites. Now this quarantine process can be simple. It's honestly just turning up the temperature to 82 degrees and adding 1 tablespoon of salt for 5 gallons. Just kind of leaving it that way for about a month or two. Or it can be a little more intense where you treat the water with brand new month and you treat them with other diesel and maybe even feed them honestly, if you're on out, go and add in some substrate in there. Make sure you thoroughly rinse it out before adding it to your tank, or it'll make a mess. In terms of a diet for your goldfish, you're going to want to feed them around 2 to 4 times a day. Maybe only make one of these feedings a pellet feeding, and then the other feedings a veggie feeding. Now, these guys like to eat a lot of veggies. So I recommend maybe give them a little bit of pellets every day, give them some veggies, and then once in a while, frozen bloodworm and frozen fruit. Some of the vegetables I love to feed my goldfish are boiled and deshelled beans, boiled broccoli, boiled spinach, and also some boiled cucumbers. There are a ton of other vegetables, eggs and stuff like that you can feed your goldfish. I would highly recommend researching that. But one thing you definitely want to make sure is keep that diet very up. Goldfish in the wild eat a lot of veggies. Make sure you replicate that as well. In terms of water changes, I recommend doing probably one water quality water change every single week. You're going to need to do around 80% of water change in your tank. And I'd recommend, again, using that water conditioner when you fill up with water. Make sure the new water in that tank is nearly the exact same temperature as the water that's already in the tank. And then you can take out a lot of water if you're worried about the cycle not being super stabilized, add in some extra beneficial bacteria to keep the cycle of that filter a little more stable. That water testing kit's going to come really in handy here because you're going to be able to test the nitrate level. And anytime that nitrate level starts creeping above 25, 30, 40 ppm of nitrates, you're going to want to do a large water testing to get that down to 5 nitrates. You want to get that nitrate level always as down as possible. If you're noticing that at the end of the week it gets above 40 ppm of nitrates, maybe you want to scale back the temperature a little bit. You want to scale back the heating a little bit because that means there's too much waste heat in the tank, and that nitrate level is building up too quickly for it to be out of the fish. At least once a month, there's going to be some sort of filter maintenance you're going to have to do. You're going to have to probably squeeze those sponge filters. You want to make sure you get a separate bucket with tank water. Never clean out your filter with fresh chlorinated water because you'll kill all that beneficial bacteria in there. So squeeze the sponge filters, the filter fittings, your canister filter in tank water, and then put them back on your filter and back in your tanks. If you have multiple sponge filters, only clean 1 or 2 of them at a time so you maintain some sort of cycle stability, not cleaning all of them at once. So you might have to spike in your tank once you turn the whole system back on. So there's probably a lot of little details along the way that I did. So after watching this video, definitely go out and do your own research on top of this. Do not have this video be the only source of information that you use to start your tank, but have it be maybe a starting point to go out and then research, besides should I get research some other things, and really make sure that you're making the right decisions. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like, subscribe, and I wish you guys a ton of luck in starting your own tank. Maybe more of these educational videos down the line to help you guys really know create a nice solid environment for your fish and eat really well. I almost forgot to rock me on the carpet.
Mucinex Night Shift fights your worst nighttime symptoms, so you can get to sleep and wake up ready to go. Good. Wake up to a new year. With Mucinex Night Shift, it's not cold and flu season. It's always comeback season.
Power to the fearless. Power to Revlon Super Lustrous, the #1 lipstick in the U.S. with unmatched conditioning for soft, fuller-looking lips in perfect holiday shades. Revlon Super Lustrous Lipstick. Live boldly.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to Goldfish. In this video, I'm going to take you through a day in the life of a full-time content creator / goldfish breeder, and basically take you through what I do every day from morning till night. So today I woke up at 7:30, and it took me a little over half an hour to get ready. Now I'm going to go inside and make my coffee. Of course, today we got to use the Luke's Goldfish mug, very fitting for the video. I have those linked in my description if you want to go check those out. Oh, I almost forgot the secret ingredient. If you guys don't know what this stuff is, it's like the super soldier serum, but it's legal, and it's actually good for you. So make sure you drink a lot of water. You want to
make sure you mix that creatine in. In terms of cream and sugar, I don't add any cream and sugar in my coffee. I usually have it black or a little bit of the super soldier syrup. That's delicious. I gotta go find like a little clip thing that comes with this microphone. Okay, I found the clip. Now, you want to see something pretty cool? There we go. First things first on the agenda, let's feed our inside goldfish. What is? Oh, I didn't mean to scare you. There we go. The good stuff. Onward, Christian soul. Frankie, you always get the food on your forehead. Look at that. It's the famous Clarence. Get out of the way, Steve. You're blocking it. Look at him sitting through the sand. You like those pellets, Clarence? Okay, they are all fed, so now we're going to go deal with the outside guys. This is what takes up like a large amount of my mornings, is I have to do a water change to all my outside tanks every single day. Because they're so overstocked, I have to make up for that overstocking by over-water changing and doing like so many more water changes than a normal person would do in a normally stocked tank. And because I'm trying to grow my goldfish out a little faster, that means I have to feed them a lot more. And when you feed your goldfish a lot more, you gotta change the water out a lot more because it produces a lot more ammonia and nitrates than a normal goldfish tank system would. Okay, first up on the water change schedule are the Calico Ranchu babies. I first gotta hook up the pump, then I just gotta put in this tube. This is one of the drainage tubes. And then I gotta plug it in, and now the tank is draining. Now, because I'm a chemical engineer, we're taught to be as efficient as possible at all times. So while I'm draining this tank, I am also going to be draining that tank with the red-white Ranchu babies. And I have another drainage tube, so I'm going to start draining this one at the exact same time. What's up, little guys? How we doing? Man, their colors are starting to develop a little more. They're getting so much bigger. I can't believe they're only a little over a month old. Let's get the two baby fry tanks changing. In here, you got the little tiny babies. Look at them. So because these fry are so small, I have to get these pumps and I have to put them in this little mesh bag here. And now, let's plug these in. Oh no, the sky is falling. Guys, it's Captain Cow. It's Captain Cow. It's Kirby right there. Kirby the pink goldfish. Wait, is that one Kirby? Wait a minute. Okay, that is blowing up. And now we start pouring it out. Don't forget water conditioner. Mr. Clean. Look at Giga Chat. Giga Chat is looking absolutely beautiful. Let's empty out their tank now. Okay, we got them being emptied. We have them being filled up. We have them being emptied. And we have these guys also being emptied. Sometimes when I'm waiting a couple minutes for one of those tanks to fill up and then for another one of those tanks to empty, I like to just come out here, just sit down and relax, kind of listen to some music, kind of pull out my Bible, I'll start reading my Bible. I like to kind of try to make this water change time my little morning peaceful time, even though I am draining and filling up multiple tanks at the same time and I have to keep it all in my mind. I still try to have it kind of be a little peaceful time in the morning. Okay, so this one is done draining.
Another reason to be a good driver is saving money.
Guys, look at all those baby ranchers. Okay, so this tank right here has clean water, this tank has clean water, that tank has clean water, that one has clean water, that one has clean water, and now we are filling up our last baby tank with clean water. After that, we'll be completely done with our water changes for today. Okay, so while we wait for that tank to fill up, we're going to do our first of many feedings for everyone out there. I pour food in there. When they finish it, I pour more food in there. I feed them so often. Okay, we're going to get some frozen brine shrimp. Those are all freshly hatched frozen brine shrimp. Luke, that's a fire hazard. I know. This is money. This is gold. Look at that pure gold. 2, 3. Okay, 5 of these guys for you. Oh, we're wasting brine shrimp. They're melting on the ground. No! Oh no! Hard I work for these brine shrimp. Come back. And sounds like someone's peeing in my pond. It's rain and shrimp, hallelujah. Okay, let's go back to starting electrical fires. 5 pieces of bloodworms for the calico rancher babies. And they all just start coming. They're like a bunch of piranhas, these guys. Gotcha! I gotcha! I love just messing with them when they're trying to use, they're so focused on the food. A giant human hand just scooping you up like a crane? I don't care, I want blood worms. Look at this dude. I'm a naked Simba. Wait, after looking at his butt a little closer, that looks like a female. That's a female butt. That's how you know it's female, when the butt sticks out like that, like a dot. And now for the red-white babies. I like to chop these guys in half now. I used to shave them, but now the babies are big enough that I could just chop this in half, and that's good enough for them to eat. I can't believe how fast. What is going on, guys?
What's up, guys?
How to grow green carpet algae. The most important thing is direct sunlight exposure. But if you don't have direct sunlight exposure, you can also use alternative light like full spectrum light and low light, the one that you're using for your plants, or any light that imitates sunlight exposure. My aquariums have a 6 to 9 hours direct sunlight exposure, and my water pages are the one that imitate the nutrients like ammonia. And then once the good bacteria converted the ammonia into nitrate, and another good bacteria converted the nitrate into nitrite, all of those ammonia, nitrate, and nitrate will be absorbed by the green algae. And I think one of my secret is stock water. When I stop using a tap water or direct faucet water, I start seeing results. It's because of the chlorine and chloramides in heavy materials. By the way, I also dose my stock water with anti-chlorine. I am using this one, which I'm running out. So I'm stocking water and also dosing the anti-chlorine just to make sure. And if ever you don't know, chlorine kills good bacteria that we need to convert ammonia into nitrate and into nitrite. Doing a daily water change I think also helped based on other videos I watch, but for me I think it is that. But hear me out, hear me out. I'm not an expert, but I think if you have a lot of ammonia, nitrate, and nitrate that the green algae can absorb, they will grow even more faster. But I'm not entirely sure, so do your research. And I think that's all for the green algae. Anyway guys, I just want to inform you that tomorrow I'll be receiving this time.
Germans have figured out a way to increase water pressure by 15 times without using any energy.
And I would like to talk with you today about something that troubles lots of aquarists. It just gives them a fit. They go crazy over it. But you know what's interesting? It's really not a problem. Now, what am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about algae. Algae. Everybody has algae in their tanks. Might be a little bit, might be a whole lot. And there are many, many, many different kinds of algae. But what is it about algae that troubles us so much? Well, some people say it's unsightly, it's ugly, it's messy, it's just a slime, or it's hairy, or it messes everything up, or it covers up all my plants and kills them. Oh, there are lots of reasons to despise algae. But you know, there's one thing that's really important to understand. If you have algae in your tank, it's because your tank is trying to save itself from crashing, from being polluted, from killing everything. After all, what is algae? Well, it's a plant. It's a plant. Typically, when someone calls me up and says they have an algae problem, I tell them, well, come on in, and I'll sell you some more. And that way you can overcome the one you don't like. All plants are a form of algae. In point of fact, in summer, all of the plants that we harvest are referred to as macroalgae or microalgae. They're all a form of algae. Not so much the case with freshwater, because a lot of freshwater plants, well, they're one thing, they have roots. Those saltwater plants don't have roots. There's some that do, but most don't. They simply attach themselves to a hard surface and grow, just like, well, an algae. Right. So, you have algae in your tank. Well, boom. You had algae in your tank because your tank is in trouble and it is trying to save itself. The algae is growing in there because there are nutrients that it's feeding on. Those nutrients exceed the natural and normal vital load of the system and therefore require cleaning up. Algae is a cleanup crew. Algae is a way of reducing excess nutrients, especially nitrates from your water column. If you put a whole lot of plants in the tank, you probably won't get much, if any, algae, because the plants will absorb the very nutrition that algae feeds upon. If you have no plants, and you have any kind of light at all, then you're likely to get algae.